now.
There's such a delay in my camera. There's delay in everything. Whatever, it's fine. So let's get some kind of introductions.
Okay, great. I think that the audio and the video and everything is okay, so I'm good to go.
Alrighty,
guys.
well, I've presented everyone's very pretty little faces. I will go through everybody one by one. Say hello. My name is Andrew. You are watching our weekly This Is Not a Toy Scene, Toy Hang, Toy Jam, whatever you want to call it. It's a bunch of toy people hanging out. We're making toys. We're chatting shit. It's going to be a fun night. I mean, we're not swearing for the first 10 minutes because of something else that has to do with Fletch. I will go through one by one, introduce everybody on my stream. I guess if you're right there, Fletch, you're good. Let's start with Mr. Hand in Face himself.
Oh,
hi, Mr. Fletchy boy. Oh,
hi everybody.
There's a real lag.
Hi everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, that's good. Hi, I'm Factor from Irakanji Toys, and tonight I'm working on a toy that's over there, which I didn't go and get because I was so busy working on this. But I do this stuff. This one's almost finished, but I'll show you my other toys that I'm working on and the progress from last week in a minute.
Yeah.
Get up and go over and
we'll show that in a sec. So
yeah.
This is Fletch. Next in line we have Mr. Good Guys Never Win himself, Chipter. How you doing, Chip?
Chipter is good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, Chipter from Good Guys Never Win. Also from GGNW Toys. I work a lot with Liam from ZNG, who's going to introduce himself soon. We've got a few projects that we're working on at the moment outside of the next This Is Not a Toy Scene exhibit, one of which we're going to be talking about later on today.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much that's it. Just doing stuff. See you soon.
Great. Next in line, we have Mr. KO himself, AJ. Now, AJ, I was wondering the other day, what does the A and the J stand for? Because I don't think I've ever asked you that before.
Don't tell him.
It's Aramis Jeremiah.
Aramis Jeremiah.
Are you serious?
I made that up.
I'm not surprised why you go with AJ.
Aramis is dope.
Aramis is a great name. What are you talking about? It's Alex John.
Well, obviously you're not a 40k
Alex
fan. Jeez.
It's Alex John. Yeah.
Alex John.
So I kind of split my name between my professional life and my home and social life because of the type of work I previously did. I needed to stay slightly anonymous on social medias.
No doxing?
No doxing allowed.
Wow.
So what are you going to be working on tonight, AJ?
So you remember the ones I pulled last week?
Yes.
Yeah. So I've done all of these, and I did some. So these are the ones I did last week on screen.
I wish the cameras were better, but this bit rate is pretty lousy. But what can you do?
That's okay.
We'll be putting links to stuff. Just to interrupt you, sorry. We will have a Discord going as of tonight. It is open. There'll be some pop-ups in the chat. I'll make sure that that actually pops up a bit more. I've got it on auto pop-up. We'll be posting photos of the stuff we've made tonight in that chat, in the Discord, so you can come along and have a look and check everything out in a bit better detail than what Australian internet bandwidth is allowing. So,
yeah, that's not good, is it?
So sorry, Liam, you were just going to be pulling some more stuff, doing some more casts.
Do you mean AJ?
Yes, that's what I mean.
No. I finished. So yeah, these are all the ones I pulled. Hang on, I'll just pull my screen down. So these are all the ones I pulled last week.
Ooh, look at all those.
And during the week, I pulled some clear glowy boys.
Ooh.
So
Are those day glow or night glow?
Those are day glow. I tried to do glow in the dark one, and you might have seen that video I put up of it epically failing.
I did see it. Is that with the one with all the bubbling coming out?
Yeah. So I just gave up on the glow in the dark ones, and I'm just going to do these ones. So I'm just going to paint. I'm going to paint old school with an actual paintbrush.
I just realized as well I accidentally muted my microphone and not Fletcher's extra microphone, so any talking that I've been doing, most people haven't heard. So apologies. Hi, my name's Andrew. Having a real great night tonight. Really killing it in the technical department. We're just having a fantastic evening. I'm definitely making toys because I, didn't have a busy day at work, and I definitely had enough time to get all that sorted. Anyway, so next person coming along. Oh, you would have missed all of my spiel about the Discord. We'll talk about that later. Next up, Liam. Hello, Liam. Please tell us what you're working on. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm Liam from Z&G Toys, as well as a conspirator at GG and W Oz, I guess. Tonight, I was going to work on this Pika Me thing, but like messing with it in Blender is kind of ruining my Skype, so I'm going to leave that. But what I will be working on is that my Sofubi project has moved on to such a point that I've started having to think about actually doing like the header card art, which is kind of exciting because that was something I wasn't going to touch until it became more of a reality, Like I didn't want to work on it because it kind of felt like if it didn't go well, But yeah, basically I was waiting till then, so working on this on the iPad, so that's where I'm at so far.
Nice. It's looking good.
And
That's great.
Kind of jigging on me, so yeah.
Goggles? Are those goggles he's wearing?
No, he's just got 4 eyes, so.
Oh, 4 eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
Bit like
as in actual 4 eyes, not a derogative term for someone with
Oh, okay.
goggles or glasses.
They're not like you.
No. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing today. Oh yeah, and I was fixing up these cards with these bootlegs.
Oh, nice.
But got that going. There was I did like a font choice in the font for one of the little logos in it, and I think I did it on purpose, but I can't remember choosing it to be bad on purpose. So it was like, was it bad on purpose or did I just do it bad?
I think you just did it bad.
Yeah, but like I'd have to have really messed up, like done something, because it's like a really purpose choice for having 2 of the letters run together. Okay, so for context, all right, let's see if I can get this. I can't. Oh, there we go. All right. So this is like the header title for particular bootlegs. We call them Cobra Bad Batch. And the logo we're doing for the team name, which is like a common thing in G.I. Joe, is that we've taken this Cobra logo from G.I. Joe when it was done in the UK as Action Force. This was like the Action Force Cobra logo when they were tying them together, the 2 lines of toys.
I remember that.
Yeah, and in that logo, the R and the A in Cobra run together, like they're kind of like off, like the R bleeds really heavily into the A, because I think it was a spacing issue, because the A kind of half also hides behind the snake's tail. So in my original version of it, which is this, you can see like the B in Batch and A run together, and I can't think that I would not have seen that before. So I have to think I did it on purpose, but now it bothers me. So I've had to go in and like these card arts are like 6 different Photoshop like smart objects deep, if you know that. So it's like you got to go to the logo and fix it and save it, then go to the next bit and then reload the art into that and then save that, then go to the next bit, and then to set up the prints to be sent off to Officeworks, then I've got to do that again. So yeah, cool, like minor fun stuff that has nothing to do with toys, but I guess it's something you got to do.
I think it's to do with toys. I think that.
Well, it's not to. Yeah, it's the
broader context of toys.
Yeah.
Toy packaging, man, it's important.
Yeah,
it is.
Presentation, something that I neglect a lot with my stuff.
I'm more excited about toy packaging than a lot of things, actually. So
I was saying to Liam, like, he was asking me whether it's going to bug him, and I said, like, when you put that logo on a T-shirt, it's going to bug you because you're going to be seeing it all the time. So, yeah.
Anyways, that's what I'm up to.
Nice. All right. Next person is a new face for this week, but a familiar face for a lot of us. That is Rachie.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hey Andy, how you going?
Good. Tell us about what you've been up to. I think you've got some pretty fun projects that have been happening lately in terms of spaces and things.
Yeah, so I have opened a space called Sensorium, which is an art therapy studio, gallery, and basically an awesome event exhibition space that we're going to be doing our next toy show in. Yeah, so that's I'm very excited about it, but it's been obviously put on hold until we can. So
We're also excited about it.
Waiting, but it's good because, these toys that I have here, I've been working on these since, I don't know, early 2020. And because our shows keep getting put off, I keep procrastinating on these things. So I'm finishing some stuff I started a very, very long time ago. Today, I've got this kitsune character. So the idea with this little guy is that he'll have metal on the back and magnetic tails that go on, and you can collect like 9 tails. But the issue is I've got to do all these tails. So.
Yeah. I remember you telling me about this one. Like, I think at the Sydney show you were telling me about this one.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I already had it on the go.
2019?
Yeah, so 2019 I started it, and then got to the point where I'd done the molds in about March 2020 before we were going to have the other show in Sydney. But then I just left it, and I just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Are you going to cast all the tails identical?
No, they're all different. So because I make really bad casts, like terrible, I always have issues with them. So I keep making more and more tail casts, but it's good because it just means varied tails, which is great.
Cool.
So yeah, who knows if they're even going to fit on? I haven't done the test yet, but we'll see. And yeah, I'm also working on these chicken nuggets because
Oh my god!
I'm gonna make a bucket of chicken.
That's cool.
Those are very good.
Yeah. So yeah, working on them as well. Want to make them look more chickeny.
With little beaks? You can have little beaks on it?
Actually, beaks are a pretty good idea. Or maybe some of them can have beaks. Like, yeah.
I got a robot chicken,
They're half
Rachie.
chicken.
Can they be friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can my robot chicken be friends with your chickens?
Yes, they certainly can. You can have a fried chicken sidekick.
It's like a kampong robot arm. It has no weight to it and no flesh.
He's just in awe. Absolute awe. Oh, the sidekick. Yeah, so I'm the token female.
For tonight, yeah, you are. How's that going so far?
Yeah, how exciting. Have to break up the sausage first.
Yeah, totally. Please do.
Thank you.
And to commemorate, you've made a whole bunch of little colourful sausages on your desk.
How apt! Amazing. Thanks.
All right, and now someone who I haven't actually met before. We've got Ken. Hello, Ken. My name is Andrew. Nice to meet you.
Ken.
Good to meet you. Hopefully we in the flesh soon.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It's a very strange time we're living in at the moment. But hey, it's nice to be able to see your face translated through ones and zeros. What are you working on tonight?
Well, making some little hearts.
Mm-hmm.
You can see them.
Oh yeah.
And a Thorsaurus.
And a what?
A Thorsaurus.
A Thorsaurus. That's good.
Do you have another name for that Thosaurus? Maybe.
I got it.
That's good.
Okay.
I like it.
Boom boom tish.
So how long have you
Effect
been?
going, Andrew?
How long have you been making toys for, Ken?
Oh, quite a while now. I don't actually make them. I get old toys and I rearrange them.
That's making toys. It's like sampling hip hop. It's
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Totally relevant.
Yeah, years. I don't know how it happened.
Do you remember the point where you were like, I want to start pushing all these toys together and seeing what I can come up with, or is it just one of those things that all of a sudden you were, boxes deep of toy parts and finding yourself?
A guy I was working with found a realistic-looking skull, well, mummified head,
Mm-hmm.
and I started making that and just kept making things. And toys became part of it, and the gory stuff went away.
Nice.
Which I'm glad of.
That's cool.
Because I'm picking up
I like your stuff, Ken.
the book. War. Yeah.
So tonight the Thorsaurus and some heart stuff.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, awesome. We'll make sure we get photos of everyone's stuff as well tonight, and that we share them on our various, social medias. We need to get better at doing the Instagram thing.
Would they be shared on the Discord?
Yes, they will be shared on the Discord now that my microphone isn't muted. Yes, we will be having a Discord for all those internet nerds out there. We've got that set up. I will post some links to it in the chat in a moment, and then Fletch can post it over in his chat on wherever he's streaming. I don't know, no idea about it. Mash
YouTube,
on
baby,
Pizza,
YouTube.
just subscribed. Hello, Mash on Pizza. How are you? Thank you for the subscription. Tonight we're talking about toys. I don't think you were here last week. There's a bunch of us, we're going to be getting together every Monday, chatting toys, making toys. Tonight I'm going to be in more of, I guess, a bit of a host position because I didn't have time to get anything ready because it was a bit hectic at work. Also, last person on the list, Mr. Cephalopede himself. Herbie, how are you tonight?
That's me. It's me. I am Herbert Peppard Cephalopede. We're so fancy here. That's right. Mash on Pizza, the fanciest guys and girls and humans in town. I'm very excited. I started this sculpt last week, which is now finished. I'm not sure if it's in focus. I can't unfortunately see up close, but I'm doing the trick that I try and do. That kind of looks like it's in focus. At least it was
That's cool.
a little bit. If you want to see better photos, then hey, join the This Is Not a Toy Scene Discord. I've got some work in progress and finished shots on that, and or go to my Instagram and or Facebook, which is both Cephalopede. You can find them in my Twitch. You can watch me finishing this on the last Twitch stream that I did for myself. But I started this last week. I put about 3 hours into it online, then another 4 hours on another stream, and it's kind of done and ready to throw in a mold. So I'm super excited to do that next week or before next week, and hopefully have some actual products to show you on our show. And today I'm just hanging out, and I've done some designs for some new dice charms for people who haven't joined us before. I make little dice charms, which are these little critters that are hugging little dice to go in your boxes.
I love those new ones. They're great.
These are the new ones, yeah. So I've got a lollipop tiefling, a variation on the owlbear, a little sort of designer dog who's eating the dice, a lucky cat, which I'm still deciding whether or not to do with 1 or 2 eyes. I'll probably do both variations because, who doesn't like variations on lucky cats, and a real dice goblin. So that's me. That's what I'm here doing right here on our show. I'm working with modeling wax, like classic artists wax mixed with paraffin oil. I was starting one, a larger one in Sculpey, but Sculpey isn't adhering to the dice as well as the wax is. So I'm gonna use wax, and I'm gonna use this tiny little dice, which are the ones that I usually use, like in these previous ones. These little guys. That's
Nice.
one of the old.
The original sculpt.
I bought this wax the other day, right? It's very hard. Is this even usable?
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah.
Is it
You have to melt it, I think.
oil? Yeah, I reckon you could whack it.
I know nothing about wax.
Me neither. I don't know why I put it. I was just like, oh yeah, I'll use
depends
that.
what it is. Like I would open. Looks like you haven't even opened it.
No, I haven't opened it.
So if you scrape
Might have
off,
been an online purchase.
if you scrape off a little bit with like a blade, you can immediately see in your fingers how pliable it is. Because this stuff that I'm using, this brown stuff, it's like in its form. Before I touch it, it seems pretty hard. When you get a little bit off and start working it, it's actually quite soft. But then there are other waxes that you'll get, like a monster clay that like comes really firm. You have to melt it down and get it to an optimum temperature to work it.
Yeah,
That's the Barnes molding wax, right?
This one.
I'm pretty sure what that is for making wax casts. So you're meant to melt that down and pour it into a silicon mold, and then let it cool and pull out a wax model.
It's just reminding me of when I got my back waxed. Not good memories.
Can I ask someone for a favor? Can I get someone to just check out the stream
The Twitch?
on Twitch?
Yeah.
Let me know. Hang on one sec. Let me know if everyone's audio is coming through, because it's been a wild night.
I should check the YouTube again and make sure that it's working as well.
It says bronze casting.
For bronze casting.
Yeah. Formulated
third-place
in
casting?
art bronze casting.
Yeah, so it's for the lost wax casting technique, which means you'll go to a foundry and you'll present them with the wax piece that you make, and then they'll do a lost wax mold in porcelain for you, and then you'll be able to get a bronze out of that.
I'm never going to use this.
That's how they make jewelry.
You might.
It
You
does
never know.
sound like something I would ever use. Cool. Does anyone want some wax?
Yeah, send it to me. I want it.
All right. Who was that? Who said that?
Herbert.
Herbie, yeah. You can make some bronze sculptures.
Yeah, I have
Bronze
in the past. Little tiny ones. I'm actually tempted to a bronze of this one. So if you send it to me, then I'll run a wax one out of the mold of this one, and get a bronze made.
Well, I've got 2 of your suitcases, so I should send it up in those.
I was wondering what happened to my suitcases.
I said I'd look after them till you came back, but then 2 years of
We
lockdown,
never came back.
No.
They didn't let me back in the country, in the city, in the town.
In the city. No, that was it. That was the end.
That was the end of it.
And that was even before COVID.
Yeah, that
wasn't.
That was the last show we did.
That was unrelated. They
no,
just
the last
don't like
Melbourne show.
Me.
Melbourne show. Art shows.
Going out in public.
Yeah, what's that?
I've got a little announcement to make. Liam and I ordered an injection mold machine from L&S in the States. The machine is arriving hopefully tomorrow or the day after. But what we have received from L&S are a whole box of blank molds. So these are our steel and aluminium molds, which are blank. So when they fit together so nicely, and they've got that's where you inject the plastic in. See that hole there?
Mm-hmm.
So that fits into the machine. And we'll be doing different versions of molds to test out the best way to make them.
So that's the mother mold.
Yeah, actually, we got a few of these. We got about 4 of these blank molds to work with.
Yep.
They also sent us. We also ordered a clamp, which is an optional thing, part of the machine that really helps because this is a fast release clamp. So this clamp basically opens up. You put your mold in here, and then the recycled plastic is injected down into it. So this is this is another expensive piece of equipment that we ordered from the States. But yeah, it's pretty exciting that that's happening. I just love the fact that these are the exact same molds that Craftman's been using. So guys have been talking about the Craftman recently. These are the same things. You open up the backs with the four bolts there, and then you can basically close it up and you can either pour a mold into it, or you can take the measurements and do a 3D printed mold that fits right into it. So yeah.
So you have plenty of tutorials. That's a good
very
thing.
Exciting.
Oh, that sounds really cool, man.
I'm
highly jealous. And
Fletch has gone quiet.
Yeah, why are you being so shushy, mate?
Who? Oh shit! I fucking. You know, the thing is that I've got two mics, right? So I've got a mic going for the YouTube because it's a really good mic, and I've got the mic for you guys because you can't hear me through. You can't hear me through the other mic. And when I listened to the mic last week, it was really shit. But I had it on mute, so you didn't hear. All I was saying was like, yeah, man. Now you got heaps of tutorials to watch as well on YouTube about how to fucking use it. You know, well, it's so dope, man. I'm fucking jealous and I want to play.
Well, no, the thing is, like, that's the thing, right? The whole idea is that we have a machine that everyone is going to be able to make stuff with. All they need to do is talk to us about either making a mold for them, or they can buy these themselves. The idea is that, like, hopefully we can prove that this is a working model for a toy company, and we can order more of these machines in the future and teach people how to use them, and get basically a company running that is producing toys locally. That's the main idea. Cool.
Take back the means of production.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I don't want to be making stuff in China, man. Like, it's just not for me. But I reckon there's another thing that we've got going on, and that's Lobos has asked if we want to do a show after the one at Sensorium. Yeah. And we were talking about doing a sci-fi themed one. So one of the things that Liam and I have been preparing...
I might be all right with that.
Yeah, I reckon. Well, Liam and I are preparing this land speeder. It's a very basic shell of a land speeder. And everybody who wants to join in the exhibit will get one of these to customize by themselves, and they have to choose 2 characters to put inside it.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it'll be like a smorgasbord of everybody's creativity and their version of what they want to do with a Star Wars land speeder, and it's such an iconic piece.
I love it.
It's super iconic. Everybody, can you imagine that poster? Like, like land speeder, whatever exhibit of like 100 or 50 different toy artists doing their own version of it. Like, we can really open it to the public.
Such a fun exhibition, and I can just imagine how it's set up at Lobos. It's the perfect sweet spot for for that kind of place.
Yeah, he's really backing it up. Hopefully he'll put down, a sponsorship for like the promotion and stuff.
Yep.
But it got me started on doing other things. Like, I started casting wampas. The wampas from Empire Strikes Back. So these are going to be Yowies. I'm doing these as Yowies. And when they're in packaging, this is just a prototype of the packaging. That's what they'll look like.
Great.
It's a pity the image looks so crappy on this.
Can you show that one again? Sorry.
This is the packaged version. This is just a prototype, but this is what they all look like in their packaging. So there's a blister. They'll come in blisters, and it'll say Yowie as in like Cadbury Yowie, but I don't know. It might be like Space Yowie or something. I don't know. I'm still working on that.
It's the golden mean. Just like add space in front of everything.
Exactly. Space Yowies.
The Space Yowie took me back to the space cave and hung me on the space ceiling.
Unless somebody can give me a
kinky.
Unless somebody can give me a good like alternate to Cadbury, and I can do the writing in the same font as Cadbury. But it's Cadbury Yowies, right? Or is it
Cadbury?
Cadbury.
Cadbury.
Yeah. So if anybody can come up with a good name that begins with C that I can replace, Cadbury Yowie. Anyway.
I was so about to say a word there. Are we 10 minutes? Are we past 10 minutes?
I think we
Country.
fucking are. I think we fucking are.
Country.
Here's some. I've got some.
I don't know. It's the only
photos.
thing I can think of that started with a C. Okay.
Oh, like Cadbury. It was a pun.
I can't
Like,
bring out.
Cadbury. Yeah. Look, it's okay.
I'm just
man,
showing off some
moving,
photos of
CUD as in what
logos.
cows eat.
moving right along. Cadbury.
Yeah, Cadbury.
You go cranberry, have a different colour.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Let's make sanding great again, guys.
I hate sanding.
That's
I work-
something. Actually, that's
Yeah.
something I could be doing.
It's like
I keep
every time I'm
I keep
sanding,
forgetting.
I feel like it's like grating against my nerve endings.
Yeah, but it's kind of like when you're on your own as well. It's kind of really cathartic.
It can be.
Yeah, it can be.
Uh-huh.
I keep
Cathartic
forgetting that
or
you guys
therapeutic?
You
can't
want.
see my table stream, so I'm fucking sanding.
Yeah, I'm not very good at the fine sanding, so I just get out the Dremel, shape it off, rough it. That's it, it's done.
Well,
I
I
think
was
this
trying
would
to
be the last layer
find.
of sand.
I spent ages the other day trying to find my fine sandpaper, and I finally found it in the car from when I moved house in November last year. And I was like, oh, here's my fine sandpaper. And then I realized, I was like, great, now I can do some fine sanding. And then I realized, oh, I also need some rough sandpaper, which I definitely don't have. So I was like, yeah, let's do some sanding. Let's finish up these pieces that need a little bit of refinement. Oh no. Bad luck, Andrew.
As I said, let's just make sanding great again, okay?
I like sanding.
I've been sanding those poops. Right?
Chipty, your news is all very exciting.
Oh, that's
Yeah, Matt.
that's a gnarly sander. Show that one again, Ken.
That's working on those.
Look,
Pull that one up.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's a serious sand.
you want to see my gnarly sander? Here we go.
Yeah, I love your
Ooh, is
little
that
sand.
electric
Oh,
toothbrush?
Yeah, with sandpaper on the end.
Sandpaper.
That's so good. Very
No, they're
exciting.
awesome.
This is what you got to tune in for, guys. These are the tips and tricks to live or die by.
Dude, it's so good, and it's waterproof because I use wet and dry, so it's waterproof. So it's like great. The only thing is I need to replace this, and the tape's inside, so I'm gonna have to piss off for a second in a minute.
The tape's inside.
Hey.
Use double-sided tape. You basically get rid of the bristles, right? Like remove the bristles and then cut them off, and then use double-sided tape, and then put the end of it down on the sandpaper, and then just cut around it, and then you just got your pad, and then you just replace it. But the double-sided tape's inside, so I just need to run in and get it in a minute.
Oh, hold up.
Nice.
I'll show you when I do it.
OBS is just disconnected
For you, Andrew.
for me. Yeah.
Oh shit, that sucks.
That's okay. Let's see if we can go back.
Well, you're still live. It hasn't cut
I'll
off
go
yet.
stop streaming, and then I think I'll
Do it
start
quick,
streaming.
and then no one will notice.
Oh, I think OBS has crashed on me.
Oh,
Son of a boy.
it happens, man.
Rude.
That's
Oh,
right.
it's
That's why it saves all of its settings, right?
Okay. I think we'll be live again.
Huh.
Usually.
Well,
Back?
let's hope so.
We're back. I think we're back. Let's have a look. Let's jump on the the internet.
But yeah, the Skype and NDI, it's not guaranteed. I
No.
think it's still experimental.
We're back. We're back, baby.
Nice.
You all good, Andrew?
What is good?
Yeah. What is love?
Baby,
Well,
don't
that's not me.
hurt me.
Hurt me.
Don't hurt
This
Don't hurt
toy-
me.
no more.
No more.
What was that, Rachel?
What is that?
Hey, does this toy here, does this look like a toy that already exists? Because it's really,
Does it matter?
I don't know.
It looks a little bit like a Furby.
Yeah, mixed
Yeah,
with
or-
like one of the dudes from Farscape.
And a
Or,
stormtrooper.
yeah, or like I guess like a little bit of labyrinth. I see some labyrinth. It's definitely like some
Could be-
Yeah.
That's what I
Somebody
thought.
said like the little worm thing in the labyrinth, and now
Yep.
I can't understand that.
That's fine. I mean,
A little bit of
the
little
last
bit
thing
of
I
Max.
sculpted was like it just looked like something that has been made before, which was fine.
Yeah,
Come
I mean,
inside and meet the
everything's been
missus.
done. But I'm like, this looks like an exact replica of something I've looked at, and I was just like, anyway.
Look, you're all.
Hello.
It's original. It's original. It's all original.
Yeah.
Because it's all derivative, right?
Yeah.
So
It's
Yeah.
all about you know, you draw inspiration from everywhere and everything. So
Yeah.
Nothing's new.
Well, actually, even the technique, I drew inspiration from someone else. I actually was trying out this thing where you can just put polymer clay straight onto like a little pom-pom and then just dry it with a heat gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like you could actually just sculpt it into the hair on it and stuff. It's good.
And it just sticks right in there.
Stays there. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a good little experiment. I'm going to do more of them.
More the
What
merrier.
if I put something underneath? Yeah.
Chip, what are you working on right now?
Chipter.
Chipta is working
On a wampa.
on a Yowie.
On a Yowie, sorry.
Good painting.
These are my space Yowies. Space, Yowies.
Oh, that's my audio from a half an hour ago.
Yeah. Half an hour. Is that the end? That's pretty good lag then. Mine's all over the shop. I put like a delay. I think what happened was I tried to put a delay on the audio for you guys, and that's I think what really cooked OBS. So, yeah, I really wish, and this is me complaining about some tech stuff. I really wish that the NDI sources, the audio traveled over, but it's like a good. Like it's just all the one audio source coming out, which I find
It's pretty new. Yeah,
Sounds
same.
like an
It's pretty new.
to me.
yeah. Come on, Skype.
NDI is it's still pretty new, so I would say like they'll probably fix shit like that in the future. But yeah, NDI I think it only came out like about 6 months ago or a year ago. So
About a
it's
year ago,
relatively
yeah.
new. Yeah, relatively new.
I don't pay good money for this service,
Exactly.
so I expect top premium service,
Crap.
please.
Free shit.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's suddenly in the zone.
Yeah.
man.
Sorry.
Have you got any topics for conversation? Oh, actually, Liam, can we get an update on the header art?
Oh yeah. So I totally forgot my monster had horns, and I was drawing. I'm like, something's off, and I looked at a reference picture and I'm like, oh, I gave it horns. So I have to add, just a bit.
Let's go back and draw the horns.
I was just so focused on trying to get the hair right. Like it was gonna just be a sketch, but like me, I keep working on it, and now I'm like, now this is the thing. Like, but yeah. Anyway.
Those colors are nice.
Whoa, dope.
So I'm going more for like, because the concept of it is that it's as if there was a actual like kaiju film of this character, and then the toy I'm making is the toy of it, as opposed to making a toy of the monster. So, and this illustration is supposed to be of the actual monster that would have been in the film, sort of thing. So I'm kind of grunging it up a little bit and see if that works. I don't know. That's the plan.
Oh, it's cool, man.
Good plan. Gotta have a plan.
Thanks. It's like everything, like concept-wise, I do. I always like try to put like a stupid like extra thing. Like a thing I've been playing around with is I want to make like a Playmate style series of figures, like really Ninja Turtle-y, Street Sharky, kind of Skeleton Warrior, like how they were really whatever. Where they're kind of all like gunked up and always got like little extra bits of detail, like splats or flies or rats, like the old Ninja Turtle toys were.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, if I want to do something like that, I've got to kind of do it more proper Ninja Turtles wise. So like I've got to pretend like there was a black and white underground comic for it that was called something that had some sort of plot. And then they made like a kids TV show of it, which then would be a different plot and have a different name. And like that's the thing. So I'm like trying to think of things like how they'd be in like a like a black and white Eclipse comic sort of thing, and then trying to run them in my head through like a filter of like what they'd look like as like a late 80s, early 90s kids show sort of thing, and then what toys would look like after that.
We touched on this topic, actually. It was something you said there. We touched on this topic a little bit last week, but plan versus no plan. Who's a planner? Who's not a planner? I am not a planner. I basically just I make shit up as it comes along, and it
Yeah.
just happens, and then I create the story after.
The no plan
Basically.
plan.
The no plan. So yeah, what's
that's what I
everybody
do.
else?
Yeah,
always have
I'm
a-
with Fletch. I'm a no planner at all. Just make stuff, and then story comes later. But it's it's like being an art therapist thing. Like you look at it later, and you're like, oh, that's kind of where my mind was at that point, right? Yeah.
I think about the story sometimes while I'm making it. Like I'm already kind of getting a story for Robo Kampong Ayam. Like it's it's basically a cyborg chicken. It's basically no. So the Kampong Ayam is like a chicken, Indonesian chicken, but they're very tasty, but they're really scrawny.
They're like roadrunners. They're basically
roadrunners. They're like roadrunner chickens. They have they're not like what you buy here in a supermarket, basically, right?
Yeah.
Extremely tasty, but they're everywhere. So I'm thinking about like this story of this thing. It just became a cyborg, like somehow, I don't know, living in the village, and it got toxic. I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm thinking of like some kind of alien technology, or something like landed near the village or something, and these little like cyborg little robot chickens have started appearing all around the village.
A classic tale of woe and invasion.
Yeah, by chickens. Yeah. What was once his food source is now our enemy. Robo Ayam Kampong.
And then they make an army of chicken drumsticks to go after.
But I'm really stuck on the question, like,
Now I'm hungry. I haven't had dinner yet.
What came first, the chicken or the technology?
Oh, speaking of, hang on. I just realised I've got some. This is very professional of me. I've got some.
The cock came first.
Some what?
The cock.
I thought you said the cupcake.
The cock.
Yeah.
The cock came first.
Yeah.
I realised I've got some clothes in the dryer that I need to go get out. It's not like it's a dryer.
It's so fucking domestic of you,
mate.
I did domestic shit yesterday. Don't worry, man.
It's been a day. Yeah, it's not. It's like a It's like my apartment's communal laundry as well. So I've definitely got to go get it. So be right back.
You'll never get it otherwise.
Yeah, otherwise people will steal your underwear, dude.
To be fair, how many times have we seen a film where the heroes only get clothing by stealing it from someone's laundromat? Like,
exactly.
You might lose
it,
but
I'm not aiding and
might
abetting,
be the guy who gives Kyle Reese's Reeboks.
So true.
I'm not helping Tom Cruise put on a disguise so he can get away from what other shadow CIA corporation he needs to infiltrate and be a rogue from. No, thank you.
Yeah, we should let him get killed.
And Kyle Reese got his from like a weird...
He's done his dash.
So much hate for Tom Cruise, man.
Tom Cruise is a cult leader and he can rot in hell.
Yeah.
Like he's a vile.
So much hate.
He's a vile human being. Like he's really awful. Like he's
terrible.
He's not subjectively bad. He's objectively awful.
I've heard you go on these rants about Tom Cruise before, but I just don't get it. I just
because he's the leader of a cult. That's abusive.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of people we know are leaders of cults.
It's a general trait.
It's like an awful scam.
Trying to normalize our lives here. That's all,
Hey, Tom Cruise fans. There's no Tom Cruise fans watching this.
How your pheromones going?
But if you guys seriously want to sign up for the Good Guys Never Win indoctrination drive, it's
join our Discord. Join the Discord.
Your organs. Will
join Discord.
Fully accept organs.
Subscribe. Join Discourse. Toys.
Beautiful toys. So
it's not a cult.
We are the toy Illuminati.
We're gonna have a toy Illuminati.
Going back to the question.
Yes. Who else is a planner and who else is a non-planner? Oh, the cock. The cock came first.
I am 50-50. All of my ideas come at the same time.
Okay. That must be confusing.
I hate to sound like hate to sound like a sellout, but when I'm making a toy lately, I tend to think about the sellability of it. Like, would I buy that? And usually I say no, because usually I can't afford the toys that I sell. But like, I would, if I had money, would I buy it? And I do think about that. And lately, I have to do that because this is my main source of income.
Yeah, you're coming from it from a different angle as well.
Yeah.
So you have to consider your marketing. You have to consider sellability, all that kind of stuff. So it's a different. Yeah.
I know I was watching a YouTube video about exactly that last night, but he was not talking about specifically the human who was doing the video was not talking specifically about a product, but like a service and a video and a post on social media was what he's talking about. He's saying, look, I put up these posts and I would look at them and I'd see what people responded to. And if people didn't respond to a type of post that I was putting up, I just wouldn't put it up another one of the same kind of post again. Wouldn't make the same thing again, because that's like slamming your head against a wall. Instead, what I'd do is I'd keep making different things, and when I found things that people liked, I'd do more of that.
Yeah.
I guess that's a similar kind of feeling.
Yeah.
I guess it depends what you're trying to achieve. Like if you're a working artist compared to someone who's trying to make, just make stuff for the act of making stuff.
Absolutely.
And whether you're trying to be able to, make a living off it. It's a different set of, I guess, not priorities, but things to focus on. And,
it's a different way of looking at it as well, and going and entering into it as well.
Yeah. Are you making an object that you're making simply because you want it to exist for your own gratification, or do you actually is every single moment and every single dollar that you're putting into this construction process? Does that all need to be accounted for, and does that need to see returns? I guess that's the big difference.
Totally.
And sometimes those can be complementary, but they don't tend to be financially complementary until you've got a big enough following so that you can make whatever comes to your mind. But even then, that's the bane of lots of artists, right? They get so far inside of their own head that they lose the disconnect. They get a disconnect between what they're making and the people who are buying.
They lose what the people were buying it for in the first place.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Or they can
It's
get
art in general.
pigeonholed. That's the other trap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, or just be flavor of the month. If they're particularly just making the same thing all the time, I guess you're more inclined to lose relevance. Because you're just.
But I mean, repetitiveness is kind of the thing where I've seen a lot of artists thrive by doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
True.
The difference that I find is that I just can't do that. I need to have variety. I need to change up all the time. So everything I do is experimental. It's new. I can't stick to one thing for more than a while. I might do a series of toys, which is these chicken drumsticks. I reckon I'll do 8. That's it. It's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then that'll break out on the internet. You get famous for making tripping chicken drumsticks, and then people.
And then you'll do a glow in the dark.
You know what? I'm sort of mentally prepared for if something like that happened. I don't know if I could stick by it. I'd have to outsource that just to someone to do. I couldn't bring myself to make the same thing over and over because it got...
I know an independent Australian toy company that's about to purchase an injection mold machine.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Beautiful.
So Rach, I think I can look at a piece and be like, oh, that's yours. So even though you're not making the same physical thing, you're still you have your work has an identity.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the same as you. Fletch definitely does.
But it comes down to the reasons why you're making it. I'm just making it as another creative outlet. With not so much of an intention to sell it, but just to share it. with the world, kind of thing. Yeah. But mostly for me.
Rachie, do you feel like there's a relation? Sorry, go. You finish.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Yeah, it's just that you've come from a completely different perspective. I think we all come from completely different perspective of how we work. So it's just pretty interesting to hear it.
Do you feel like there's a relationship between your 2-dimensional or installation artwork and your 3-dimensional toy work?
Yeah, definitely. I vary my outlet a lot, so I'm always being creative, but sometimes it's painting. Right now it's toys, but all of it has the same kind of aesthetic. It's just, right now the toys that I'm creating are actually just sketches out of my sketchbooks from like years of just drawing random stuff in sketchbooks. So like I might not necessarily be inspired at the moment with creating new characters, which in the past I was, but I am inspired to use my hands to create characters I've created in the past. So
I've been familiar with your work for a long time, Rach, and you definitely have an aesthetic that I can look at the piece and go, "Oh, that's one of Rachie's pieces," and that's what you want, right? Like,
branding.
But it's always so different. It's always so different from the last thing, though. So
I mean, I look back at work and see its evolution and stuff. But this depends what medium at that time. I'm just trying to find this sketch, which is a toy that I'm making at the moment. This sketchbook I started when I first went overseas in 2004 or 5. So, and I just made a toy out of this sketchbook, but I've got to find it.
What is overseas?
What is that?
How does overseas?
I think it's
overseas.
I've heard of that before.
When you used to be able to travel overseas.
Yeah, I think
Are there
you need to
steps
go.
there?
There's a rainbow.
Can we
that
go
you
to
can
the
get
San
there,
Francisco?
and you need ruby slippers and a fairy godmother.
Right.
Yeah, it was just a dream. It was merely a dream. That
I
happened
think you
to
can
come.
travel now. They just don't let you back.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of I'm really holding out for them to open up business travel to Japan. On account, and I'll be like,
Aren't
"Hey,
we all, Liam?
want to go to Japan for legitimate business reasons?"
It
So
is a
I just
legitimate
made
business
this
reason.
character as a toy. I don't know if you can see it. Super Noodle Bunny.
Oh, cool.
So I
Oh,
made,
noodles.
so I made like a little bowl of noodles ages ago. I don't know where that is, somewhere. And then I made the mold of Super Noodle Bunny, but its ears broke off. That's the original thing before the mold.
Hang on.
Poor noodle bunnies.
Oh, Noodle Bunny's ears broke off. But I was able to make a mold before that happened. But it is the worst mold. It's very leaky. Very, very leaky mold. So I ran out of pinky seal halfway through. So it's very thin. Very wobbly and thin.
What about you, Ken? Are you a planner, or are you just like a put it all together when you see it kind of guy?
It happens.
Just happens?
Yeah.
Wall.
The magic.
Yeah. It all. Yesterday I had no idea I was going to start making hearts. I just started making them. Yeah.
What are they made out of? Like, how are you going about that one?
I make them out of cats. No.
Real cats.
We already talked about cats last week, Ken. Sorry.
You need a neon sign. Real live cats. Real live cats.
It's gonna be a theme, guys.
It's polymer clay. I just chucked another 2 in the oven.
Nice.
Yeah.
For dinner, yeah? Some hearts for dinner?
Yeah.
Real cats.
I want to see what you make.
Idea make something. It's not going to happen because I'll change my mind 10 minutes into it. I'm like, I can only work to a plan if I'm doing something for someone else. Self, I prefer to go.
Brief or something like that. Then that's easy. I actually really, really like a theme, like when you said like having the
Space theme.
Yeah. Like, I love having a theme. It gives me something to work with, and then I get heaps of ideas.
Yeah, hopefully that'll happen after our show, and that'll be a fun one.
I like that too because it gives me like a parameter to work within, which is always really challenging for me. I mean, sometimes I just sit there and I work on something and I'll be like, "Fuck, I don't know what to do."
That's
I get,
kind of cheating, though, Fletch. Your work is all space themed. I think you've got like some kind of insider trading going on here.
Hello, Shedquarter Creations. How are you tonight? Just getting some comments in the chat. It is great to see a bunch of Aussie toy artists hard at work. I believe you're up in Queensland. You do prop stuff, is that right? Had a bit of a lurk the other day. A bit of a stalk on the internet.
Stalking.
We have a Discord which you should join. Actually, let me do my little.
Yeah, link it up.
Discord. Is that going to work? There we go. So please join that. We'll probably. I think we need a way of getting everyone's Instagrams set up.
Oh yeah.
It's been.
I got the logos.
It's been nice.
I need to put Instagrams up against our. I do put it in the description. On YouTube, but
the Discord.
I don't. No, actually, I don't have the Discord link.
Let me jump over to your YouTube. I'll post it over in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, man. My hands are pretty wet at the moment.
Yeah, mine are. No.
Actually, I need
to grab some tools. I'll be back.
I will be
Episode
back, guys.
2. That's too fancy. None of this episode nonsense.
Yeah, I just called it. This is not a toy show. I don't know. It just seemed natural. So.
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna call it, but I just think I called it toys. A bunch of toys makers hanging out.
Yeah, we're on episodes.
Toys.
Yeah, it's all fancy over in YouTube land. It's all ad hoc, and we've got Little John coming in and saying the most nonsense stuff in mine.
Woo! Shed Quarter is now in our fucking Discord. Yeah, boy.
Mine's more fun, Fletch. I've got I've got Ian McKellen.
They both fulfill things for different audiences, and it's still all the great people and the great content. So.
No, they're here for novelty and gimmicks. Peanut butter baby.
Novelty. Oh, speaking of tea.
They're here for the Gobbler Demon to come and run across the screen.
I'm definitely also here for Goblin Demons. All right, so
AJ,
I have a question.
Oh, yes.
Last time,
Yeah.
I made my little dryad on stream, and that was the instant. All I had in mind was that I was going to make a monster girl, and I'm like, cool. Well, what monster girl should it be? And now I'm trying to decide for this exhibition whether or not I should make some more monster creature people, or whether or not I should make a couple of other creatures that go in a diorama with this dryad. So like some kind of weird tree ant creature that sort of sits in the background, and some kind of little squirrel that sits in the foreground, and maybe a couple little goblins that run around. Or should I make more like a series of a few other different types of monster girls? What do you think? Humans?
It's a good question. I don't know. I think I quite liked when you had it next to those minis on your stream the other night, last night, and you had little goblin minis. I quite liked the idea that she was to the same scale that they were. She was just really big. There was something about that I found really appealing. I don't know why. Like the fact that there was like a uniform scale across those, but she just happened to be big within that universe. That was something that I liked.
Like a forest goddess or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like just sort of like casually like rummaging through the bushes and kind of being like, oh, hey, strange
goblins
person.
So maybe just smaller things. You like smaller things though, don't you?
No, I like big stuff. I've got, I think like I mean, a bunch of the stuff I've made is pretty big. I don't know. I'm not. I think my scale varies in terms of what I like, and even what I make. I think it's nice. I don't know. I like having a bit of a variety.
So what you're saying is mix it the fuck up.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm not much of a diorama guy, but I know a lot of people really do like the dioramas, don't they, Rachie?
I love.
Well, think about it like a set.
I love dioramas.
It's like you get a set of toys, right? And instead of being like here's like Johnny and Jake and Bit Bob and Tony Thumbscrews.
Tony
like they're all
Thumbscrews.
Yeah, see, I want Tony
scale.
I want the whole set of
It's
gimmicks.
more like
you know what?
here's a murder tiefling and their pet like toothy chihuahua and their friend the head crushing tree monster.
I would love to do a diorama. I'd love to do like an environment, like, and just put all my things in an environment and build it all and all that kind of stuff. But
that's what I was thinking.
That's a fucking project unto itself. Like, that's something that I'd probably spend like 2 months on.
Yeah, don't start looking at like diorama videos on YouTube, because then all of a sudden you'll get real big ideas and then they'll get too big and crush you.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I want to do it at some stage, but time.
Well, what I really wanted to do in the front window of Sensorium for the show was to create some kind of diorama with everybody's toys. So some sort of
be too.
It's gonna happen, Rachie.
Stop! Don't say was. Say will be.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah,
it's definitely happening whenever, like maybe in 3 years, but it's happening. No, in 3 years.
Oh, don't say that, Rachie.
No, I've got a 3-year lease, so we've got till 2020.
Well, maybe I will. You got any studios there? Maybe by the end of my lease finishes in 2 years after this one. So maybe I'll run to Melbourne and join you for the last year.
Yeah, well, if we're still in lockdown, please do, because I won't be able to use the space for anything else. But
yeah.
Like my big plan was if you know, something happened with the business, I'd just move in there and live in my Lego. Because I've got a Lego room made out of giant Lego.
That's pretty
cool.
So
I would just buy more Lego and create a house within a house.
Big Lego door on it.
With the what?
Big Lego door on it.
A big Lego door, yeah.
Lego bed, Lego
doors.
shower, Lego toaster.
But like, is the floor made out of Lego?
Nah, the floor isn't Lego.
Okay.
I bet.
Because
Nah,
could
that's the only bit that
imagine,
isn't Lego.
but imagine, you know, like stepping on Lego is not pleasant. So imagine if the whole floor was Lego.
But how good is
traps.
Lego, man? I love Lego, man.
No. And so, yeah, like people have made entire houses and castles out of this giant Lego. It's like the size of a brick or bigger.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I want to order more.
Yeah, they're like
Ow.
they're bigger than bricks, aren't they? They're like
Yeah, they're bigger than
big.
50 centimeters across, roughly.
not 50 centimeters. That's half a meter. Like
Yeah, HJ.
probably 30.
I reckon they're about 40 centimeters across. That's the same size
maybe
as a tile.
40. Yeah, 40 by 20, something like that.
Damn.
Yeah. And then
Lego
like
is life.
big panels that join them all together. You get translucent ones that you can put lights in and stuff. Great.
Also, Mash on Pizza and Shed Quarter Creations. Yes, goblins hiding in bushes. Yes, I am also here for goblins. I'll put up some photos of some of the other goblins that I made. Here actually, I'll show you some little, if you can see it, I don't know if we can both get my camera in focus.
Just gotta focus it. Oh, there it goes.
There it goes. So these are some little goblins that I made for a while ago. So I'm totally here for goblins. Here's one stealing a fish. Because, you know, goblins, they'll steal everything. Focus.
Are they made out of like epoxy or something?
Yeah, these are epoxy putty ones. Sorry, I can't get it to focus.
That's okay. Post some photos in the Discord.
Yeah, put some photos up for you guys. At some point in the not too distant future. But yeah, I love goblins. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted. I was just responding to comments in chat.
No, you're fine. Mash has also just said that James May made a show years ago where they made an entire house out of normal sized Lego.
Whoa.
Wow.
Saw that.
That sounds fun.
Normal size, yeah, Lego. Oh, that would be
And
James made
Shed Quarter
James
says
May's-
Lego is life.
I love James May. I liked his James May in Japan series. That was pretty cool.
Is he
Pretty funny.
the least like irritating one of the Top Gear people?
Yes, yeah.
We watched a clip of that where he was trying to order food from like a truck stop, like order ramen from a truck stop, and he was getting real British about not being able to figure out how it works. And it was kind of
In
like,
Japan?
yeah, because there's a sort of thing where like you have to like pay at the machine and then go take the ticket to a guy to to say that you've paid and that's your order, and then it goes through the kitchen and then you have to wait for the the people in the kitchen to cook the food, and then they give you the food and you exchange it for the ticket, which is a really common thing over there, and even here, it's like there's a degree of that sort of thing of like ordering and getting a ticket and waiting and giving it. But he was just like, "Oh, it's so crazy" and stuff, and like unable to deal with it. It was kind of embarrassing for him, I would think, but you know.
Nah, that's golden content.
But everyone's like, oh, when you go to Japan, you get to order ramen from a vending machine, and you're like, cool, that sounds fun. That sounds fun and interesting. And then you realize what they mean is, you put your order in the vending machine, and it gives you a ticket. I'm like, that's not the same thing. That's not That's not how everyone hyped it up. Like, it's like a ticket machine. It's like buying a ticket for a train.
There are like big park like vending machine parks that like in like further out parts, like not in.
Do they give you hot ramen from the vending machine?
Don't know about ramen, but you can get like hot noodles and you can get curries and fresh like sandwiches. Well, no, these are like they're like manned by a person who lives nearby. And they will like every morning and like twice a day, they'll go there and they'll load it up with like regular, like freshest food.
Are you sure he doesn't sit back behind the vending machine with like this mini, like just like, really quickly cooking it up,
like the Automart out of like Dark City? That would be cool, but no,
that was very classic in 1950s America and the larger corporations. That's how they'd do the dining rooms.
I had another question.
Yeah.
I had another question which is completely unrelated, but kind of related. In the last week, what cool toys from other artists have you guys seen online or found interesting in the past
I have actually finally had something that I had on pre-order for a long time arrive.
Cool.
It's in classic Andrew style. It is glow in the dark. So it's I'll grab it in a sec. I'm trying to remember what the name of the artist is. I'll just have a quick look.
Anybody else?
I've got a toy story. It's actually funny because it's actually a toy that I designed for Emco Toys about 3 years ago. But because I left the company 2 years ago, the toy never made it to the market when I left. And so I never got my own copy of it. They never sent me one because I stopped working there like 2 years ago. But I found it on eBay selling in Bulgaria. Just the other day.
Wow.
It cost
How much
me
did you pay for it?
$100. It's supposed to be half that price, but I finally found like a full set.
You found it. You got it.
It's 10 transforming numbers that that you transform into vehicles, and then you combine the vehicles to make this giant mecha thing. And it was like my swan song. Yeah, that's part one. Yeah, those are MQ toys, but those were designed by somebody in Japan. Yeah. And we bought the rights to the molds. But Series 2 I designed from scratch, and it was the only transforming toy that I've ever designed, like professionally.
Wow, very cool.
And it finally came out, but it only came out in Europe because they couldn't sell it in Asia because it cost too much to produce. Right. So I had to order it from Bulgaria. But
wow,
that's my toy.
Still, that's cool, man.
Have you received it yet?
I haven't received it yet. I only just ordered it the night before last.
That's exciting.
And yeah, I'm really excited to get it.
It's like your last Starfighter stuff. If you want to buy that off of eBay. No.
Yeah, the last time I checked, the last one that sold was $1,200 for a set.
That's insane. How many pieces in the set?
300.
How many pieces?
300 of those, but
there's three figures in a line.
There's three figures, yeah. But that money's. I'm never gonna see that money. That doesn't go into my pocket.
Right.
Yeah, but it builds the reputation. So hopefully we'll get that sweet sculptor money on the next line.
Yeah, I've still got all the test shots, right?
You know what? We can attract even more scalpers by like saying that you get like a $5 discount if you're wearing a Supreme shirt and hat.
Is that the uniform of the scalper?
That's what scalpers wear. You can spot them. There'll be two dudes both wearing Supreme shirts with Supreme hats, probably a pair of KO Yeezys, and they'll bring like two members of their family.
Yeah, they're wearing Yeezy 350s as well.
I've been enjoying Obvious Plant's jazz crabs. Any of you guys know Obvious Plant? Mostly because exercise packaging. Anyway, it's been enjoying his jazz crabs, which is just 3 blisters on a backing board with toy crabs, with toy saxophones and trumpets, with a small dinosaur in the corner saying, "These crabs can really wail." It's actually a whale in the corner saying that. So I think good times. Apart from that, I posted a doctor's kit for children. I believe it's advertised for 2 to 12-year-olds on the Discord group, and it has all the doctor's apparatus that you would normally expect, as well as a shotgun and 3 bowling pins and 3 ducks that you were like shooting ducks, I imagine. So it's like
it's like a vet.
Yeah.
So like a horse to go with the shotgun?
No, but there were ducks. That was as close as it got. The thing that was pointed out in one of the other groups I shared it to was that what was most bizarre about it is that the shotgun is a pump-action revolver.
Right. Oh, yeah. Hello, Dr. Mr. Mouse.
That's very cool.
All right. I'm just going to show this one off real quick. Where am I? Is this my camera? Look, it's not going to be very easy to see any of the details.
Oh, you got him.
I finally got it. Yeah, the skull dangler, right? So it's like a whole bunch. It's basically, it's very like my vibe. So this is a big dude, and he's just made of skulls, basically. Like similar to like the Leech Ent, but skulls instead. And it's got this smooth. It was a resin toy at first, quite small, and then he's got it made in vinyl. Yeah. It's got a smooth head on it, and it comes with. He made like I turn the lights off. This one? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, hang on.
Is Andrew's like video coming through good for everyone else?
No, he's freezing up really bad.
Yeah. I've got Twitch loaded up on my phone. So
I think he was messing around
on the Twitch. Let me check.
Yeah, it is. I'm watching the Twitch to see his camera.
I'll tell my Toy Story because it's going into what I'm doing. So
Toy Story.
I haven't finished. Fletch.
So see, this is hard because I've got two.
Finished.
Oh, you're back.
I'm not finished. I was never gone.
Toy Story. Toy Wars.
Whoa, that thing glows.
And it comes with all these different heads. Yes, square, quarter. It's got D20.
Are the heads vinyl as well? Because I thought he was
resin. The heads are resin.
Okay, right, yeah. All right,
so I've
cool.
got this. This is like the D20 head that slots on the front, which is the one I've got it on the shelf with. And then there's one which is like a I don't know, some kind of horned thing, anyway. Was the roll not working? I'll check that in a sec. Sorry, Mash. I'll fix it for you. And there's
I was totally in the zone.
Anyway,
and I thought,
do what you need to do.
I thought it was hang on, who was just showing the toy?
Andrew was.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought your video had frozen.
No,
it did.
Yeah, his video through
toys.
through Skype. His video is like slideshowing, but he's on Twitch. He's all good.
Can I be a slight bitch about that toy?
Yes.
I actually think it's a really cool toy. The thing that annoys me a little bit about it is that it's obviously a digital sculpt, which is fine.
Yep.
I do digital sculpts, so that's not the problem I've got. But he's obviously got like the X mirror turned on when he's done the sculpting because it's perfectly symmetrical.
And that bothers you.
On both sides. And it shouldn't be for that kind of a character.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
I purposely got that turned off on mine just to make sure that it wouldn't have that.
There are a lot of people who like do the whole thing in symmetry and then pose it and modify it afterwards.
Yeah.
But that's not everyone.
I have to use it because I'm really shit at 3D sculpting on a computer, so I use it. But then, yeah, you're right. I do kind of go back and...
Everyone uses it, but you should probably, towards the end of the sculpting process, you should turn it on and go in and tweak it, even just slightly enough to make it look not so perfectly cemented. But especially for a character like this, it's like this gnarly thing made out of a pile of skulls. Like the skulls should be going in all crazy directions everywhere.
If you look at his Instagram, you can kind of get a idea of how he sculpts them, and it's just kind of like stacking up multiple skulls in order. So like I can see how it could be a total mess to then go from there to modifying them a little.
Yeah.
But then again, given the fact that it's a massive skulls, maybe symmetrical is kind of also the point a little.
Yeah, it probably is. Like, he probably didn't do it out of laziness. He probably likes it that way. But...
Could be. Theoretically, no skulls should be the same, though.
Dr. Mr. Mouse says that they mirror the basic shapes and then do the details without the mirror when they're doing digital sculpting. Inkmo says, hello, what are we making today? Everyone's making different stuff. We've got Chipta up the top making some bunyips. Yowies. Yowies.
Space Yowie!
Lech is making a robo chicken. AJ's doing some pulls of his little...
This guy's called Beelzebub.
Beelzebub?
I wish those photos were better. Hang on.
Like Bud like a friend or Bud like Bud Bundy?
Rochi gets it.
There we go. Speaking to my crowd.
Right.
Which dragon? Which dragon are you talking about? I'm not going to do a wash on it, Nick. Hello, nice to see you in the chat. Yeah, it's a cool toy. It took a while to get here. It got to the point where I sent an email and was like, "Hey, I don't really care if it hasn't left yet, but I don't have tracking for this. Can you resend it?" And then literally 2 days later, I wasn't at work because I get everything delivered to work because there's always someone there because it's like a warehouse and you know, and so I got a message that was like, "Hey, you got a package." I was like, "Oh my god, is that my new toy? Is that the new toy?"
I get all my stuff sent to a postal locker in QV, and I have the exact same thing. Like I get the notice, it's like you have something in your parcel locker, and it's like drop everything and run down there. It's like I gotta see what it is. I mean, I haven't got any new toys late, but my local comic shop, Comics R Us, have been, because of the lockdown, they can't go in. They've been doing like little deliveries, and so the owner of the shop drives around to people and delivers the comics himself.
That's cool.
So yeah, got a not these two.
Got a sweet stack.
Yeah. So I got I'm psyched. I got some Rosarch, and got some superheroes, new 40K, some X-Men, which is really good. And bought some Turok comics off the internet because I've apparently become obsessed with Turok the Dinosaur Hunter.
From the top.
Dinosaur.
On the dark one?
Do what now?
Something about glow in the dark. I think he means chromium cover.
Chromium? Actually, I've been thinking about glow in the dark because, like, once again,
I'm getting requests for
Ooh, bring out your boy again.
Getting requests for toys to show off.
This one?
All right, let me hype it up for you.
I'm going to have to get off. Okay.
You done for the night, Ken?
Gotta go. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. It was also really nice to meet you.
Good to see you, Ken.
Cheers, Ken.
Hey, Ken.
Good luck with the hearts.
Good to see ya.
Yeah, don't burn them in the oven.
Send photos.
Yeah, send us some
please do
photos
send
in the
photos.
Facebook and we can. Yeah.
All right, then. Catch you later, guys. Have fun.
Cheers.
Take it easy, Ken.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao, Ken.
How do I
Bye,
go?
Ken. See ya. He's still here.
Oh,
This. Here he is.
now I've gone.
No, you're still here.
No, you're still here, buddy.
See it.
Hi, kid.
can't bring himself to leave.
You want to come outside and see the dog?
Yes, please.
Show us your dog.
Not
We
my
are
dog.
fans of animals here.
So the cat talk is back. The dog.
It's a slightly
dog show and tell's back.
anti-dog
Running
group.
theme.
Okay.
It claims not to be anti-dog.
Yeah,
I
hang on.
call it. I fed my cat. You didn't even notice.
The cat didn't notice?
No, you didn't notice. She was under the table.
Oh, what's the cat's name?
Sean.
And is
Sounds
this the
like
cat
that.
that you've been making your toys out of?
Yeah,
No.
the cat.
I wouldn't do that.
Ooh, Andrew, that one's real nice.
That's the Candy Bolton one.
Right.
Which one?
The Bucky Buki
Oh, the
Kujira,
Bucky
however you say it.
Kujira.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
those seahorse unicorn
Yeah.
fucking monster things. They're very
So
cool.
good. I've got a few of them.
Oh yeah. She
I
put up a
love
really good video
toys.
about making those, I think.
It's a crazy thing.
Yeah, that's the torture of going to toy shops in Japan is when you're walking down the Sofubi aisles and you're just seeing like monster after monster after monster, like in all these different boxes. It's fucking amazing and awesome and making you cry 'cause
And
they're
sad.
all, like at
You
least
can't afford it.
Like
$150
$1,000+
each
dollars.
minimum, up to like $800 or $900.
Oh,
The
more than
best
that.
best thing I ever saw, and I almost bought, and it was like I think it was $800, and I was like at the time I had like a little bit of money. I wasn't rolling in it, but it wasn't a Sofubi, but it was a Godzilla toy, and it was it must have been like a 24-inch Godzilla toy, but it was a Godzilla toy that was a latex rubber Godzilla suit accurate to the 1960s with a fully posable Godzilla actor inside who was also dressed in cloth clothes. And I'm just like, fuck!
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
I think
yeah.
Migo did something like that too, but I haven't seen.
That is a
like,
Sofubi, that one though. The
This is, no, but
Nakajima
it
sensei.
was like it was more in the style of like an Action Man, like a 12-inch posable, realistic kind of
Right.
like war toy, like one of your like Action Man or what are they called? The old GI Joes, the old 12-inch GI Joes.
Yeah.
Very cool. Japan is a money hole. Don't go.
Yep, it sure is.
Ooh.
Last time we went, we just decided to save up as much money as possible and just go for 1 week and blow all of it. So me and my
All of
friend
Yep.
saved like $6,000 each. We just went and blew it in a week.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
it was the
doing that.
best week ever in Tokyo because we've both been to Japan extensively. So we were just like, let's just go to Tokyo and buy cute stuff. It was the best.
First time I went, I spent all the money I had and spent like 6 months paying off the debt from the trip. And then
Yeah.
the second time I went, I just contented myself with window shopping.
I bought so many
Yeah.
Transformers. Okay, maybe let me talk about this
Sounds
toy
for you,
because
Matt.
it's really cool.
Oh,
Okay, all right. So about 2 years ago, when Chipter and I were in Taipei, we had Mumbot across from us in her stall, and this is really crappy. Like, yeah. So I got this little one off her, and this is
cute.
oh
Shumi
my God, I
Mushumi.
love it.
Shroomy Mushroomie, and
Yeah,
I love her work, and she's an amazing lady, and
That's cute.
awesome artist. So I got, she gave me a blank, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do that a custom at some stage. So I actually finally, because lockdown, started working on a custom of her Mushroomie,
Oh my God. So
and I've totally turned it into an Irukandi,
Yeah.
Candy.
Lots of spikes.
Irukandi. Fuck, that's
Oh,
good.
yeah. Start making your own
That's
candy,
so
man.
good.
Make some candy molds.
That is awesome.
Make some
Oh yeah.
Make
Yeah.
miniature guys and put them in bonbon wrappers. In fact, that's what I'm going to start doing with my dice charms. I'm going to put them in fucking bonbon
Make them
wrappers.
as hard candy. Make them
Yeah.
as, yeah.
Yeah.
Start
So I'm
making
working.
them as legit hard candy. That'd be great.
Oh my god. Yeah. So I'm working on that.
Nick
I
says
haven't
it's
done
very
a-
you.
I haven't done a custom in so long, and it's just like while I'm waiting for the other piece to dry and set and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, well, I want to be working on something, so I usually have a couple of toys on the go at the same time. What about you guys? Do you just have one thing you're working on, or a couple of things?
No, I've got
7.
But I'm working on a
more.
custom for a friend of mine actually she's had this custom since like 2005 and been meaning to give it to her friends to do. So I'm doing this. I think I'm making like I think I'm making like a mermaid moose thing or something. I don't know. I'll work it out. Yeah. But it's getting back into customs, yeah. Good. Anyway, I've got all of these toys on the go. All of these are half done. Every single one of them.
Yeah, well.
But it's good. Just swap around, do something different.
I think I generally have only 1 or 2 toys on the go at any one time, because the other half of my hobby is like, drawing, and then but that's kind of still like art stuff is like, as much as it's a hobby, as much as it's fun, it is still more work. And for me, my hobby is still more like wargaming stuff. So I'll have like some armies or some models that I'm like customing or casting or recasting or remaking on the side or painting, whatever. And that's kind of more the hobby. And what that means is that when it comes to making the toys, I'm generally pretty focused on what it is that I'm doing at the time. That said, I might be like casting 1 or 2 things while sculpting 1 or 2 other things.
Hi, Hillary.
Hey guys, I'm going to show you the.
I have been very patient with Jade lately, but
we've all been
just
patient with Jade.
Chip, do you want me to mute you?
Yeah, let's mute Chipter.
Yeah.
I think so.
Hey,
I can feel
on.
for him, and
I don't know actually how to mute
the neighbor
Chip,
above and the neighbor below.
I've muted Chip while he's having his private convo. We don't want to
actually
dox anyone.
No, don't want to hear about Chipter's housing politics.
No, I don't actually know how to mute him on this.
Right,
He's muted.
He's
gone.
me.
It's gone.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, on Skype. Hey guys, do you want to see how I've got to swap over my toothbrush stuff? Do you want to see how I do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just adjust my camera down because I've got table. I've got the table camera, but
go from the start for anyone that's just kind of tuned in terms of what the whole process is and what you mean by the toothbrush.
By the toothbrush. Okay, so I use wet and dry for sanding my pieces, right? Okay, so because it's the best thing with epoxy sculpt and resin and everything, because you don't get a lot of dust. It just gathers and it just gives it a much smoother thing. So I was sanding by hand so much, and randomly a few years ago I saw something about somebody that was like, oh, I'm gonna use a toothbrush to clean off my jewelry or something, and they were like this, and I'm like, holy shit, this thing's waterproof. I can actually cut the bristles off. So this is all I do, right? So I cut the bristles off. I actually sometimes have about 3 of these, and they have the different grits on them already, so I can swap between them. I just cut the bristles off, and I just kind of they're a bit of a bitch to get off, but you hack them off, right? So then you just get some double-sided foam tape like this, right? And then you just stick it on there, and then you just smash it off like that, right? So now you've got oh, okay, maybe it was a bit wet. If it's dry, it's okay. All right, so like that. And then you just get your sandpaper, you take off the other side, and I use the foam tape because it actually gives the sandpaper a bit of flexibility, to get around corners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why suddenly I had an alarm set for... Oh, maybe it's to take out the rubbish because I'm useless and I forget these things.
Hey,
rubbish not touched, don't forget.
Okay.
I'm the
so
one
then you just take
the washing machine midstream. So
you just take double-sided tape. The foam gives it flexibility in the corner, so you can get into bits. So and then you just boom.
And you're using wet dry sandpaper.
It's wet dry sandpaper. Yep. So always using the wet dry sandpaper. So this is a 600 because I have a layer technique that I use with this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
and I've got a video I'm making about this for the channel at the moment. It's Mr. Surfacer. So I have a way in which I layer this and then sand, then layer and then sand, and you can get like this really, really freaking smooth finish on it because I'm obsessive with smooth. Right, so you got this, right, and then all you do is you just cut off. Oh, wrong way. You just cut off the edges like that.
There's a
I usually sometimes leave like a little bit of overhang on it.
I think Chipta's back as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
I'll unmute him.
Okay, and then that's it.
Wait. Oh, he muted himself?
Maybe.
That's it.
Yeah, Chipta, have you muted yourself? No, he says no. Andrew, did you do this?
Maybe Fletch needs to unmute him.
On Skype?
Yeah.
Yes, on Skype.
Okay, let me have a look here.
Did y'all double mute him?
The benefit of this, like, it's not as harsh as a Dremel. In terms of Dr. Mr. Mouse has said that it's MacGyvering a Dremel. It's good.
No,
yeah, it's
I can't
pretty similar.
I can't unmute him.
Because I can't.
I didn't mute him.
Are you so Chip on? Is there not a button with like the little microphone button?
Oh, hey.
There we go.
Hey,
Oh,
no,
no.
Again.
You just muted yourself again.
Press it again.
Unmute. Press it again.
Check.
Yes.
Yes! Yeah, you're good.
There we go. I don't know how that
All right,
happened.
anyways,
I didn't
so-
touch anything.
There you go, guys.
Wow.
That's my
I
send-off.
have a question about that, Fletch.
Yeah,
Does the toothbrush
Ian,
rotate
hello.
or oscillate?
it oscillates.
Oh,
It
that's
doesn't
better.
rotate.
So much better.
Much better. Like, seriously, if it was oscillating, you'd have to go back and forth because there would be a specific grain that it goes. But because it oscillates back and forth, it actually just... So
That's very cool.
I've
And
just...
that means you can make triangle. You can use foam tape to make like points, like those mouse sanding pads.
Yep.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a
Yep.
DIY micro mesh
Yeah.
as well to some
I'm gonna-
extent.
So
I'm gonna do-
I'll just
I'm
like
gonna use Davey's toothbrush and do that. He doesn't use it anymore.
480.
yeah, like see, it's just and like because you got the foam, like if you give it a bit of like flex, if you don't cut it all the way to the sides, it's got a bit of flex to it, so you can actually get into corners and stuff like that.
That's so cool.
Right.
That's so cool.
And it pretty much I use it for big like if I'm doing fine sanding, like I need to. Because I use epoxy sculpt on edges and stuff like that. If I'm doing that, then I'll use like just my hands to sand it down, right? Because you can get right in there and actually like wear it all the way down. But if I'm doing like a layer, like layering and polishing and like getting things smooth like that, then I'll just whip this out and I'll show you in a minute because once the chicken's dry, I'll go through and show you. And it's just like you get it done. It's so quick, man. By a factor of 5, you can sand your stuff by a factor of 5. You know.
Yeah. Wow. That sounds awesome and like the kind of thing that would absolutely save my workflow.
Absolutely, man. I mean, look, these are $20, but if you've got one and it dies and you have to buy a new one, but you can also pick these up from flea markets and stuff. Like I see them at markets and that, they're just selling them in amongst stuff like for $5-10, like cheap ones. They do run out of batteries when you're going hard, like half an hour, an hour. So I usually
like a Dremel though as well, like a battery powered Dremel.
Yeah, but I just have like 2 of these
on the go. Swap them over.
Yeah, and I just swap them over, recharge.
That's a great trick. It's a really good. What did you see? Was that like 100% your thought process, or did you see that?
No.
And...
I saw some dude using it to clean jewelry.
Oh yeah.
But he did it slightly. I can't quite remember. He did it slightly different. He actually he was doing the bristles, and then he's like, no, he didn't actually do it. He used the bristles, and he's like, oh, wouldn't it be great if I could somehow put a piece of sandpaper on here? Maybe that would help. And then he moved on, and I was like, what if you could put a piece of sandpaper on there?
He just.
But I honestly,
Dun, dun, dun.
cutting the bristles off those things, it's frustrating because you can't get it flat. Like you cut them off, and it's still little bits. So I had to sand it down and shit.
Oh, very cool. Well, I'm excited. I want to find one now.
Give it a go, Herb. For your stuff, it'll be great.
Yeah, for the
can do
little
it, yeah.
things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just the getting in the corners is the biggest thing. Is the biggest thing, and getting nice oscillation. Because normally, like what I will do, and sometimes I imagine you'll still need to do it, but I will like wrap sandpaper around a toothpick or around split pieces of popsicles or matchsticks to get that flat surface.
You'll see how often you'll see like my sandpaper. I'll see how it's all like on the folds here.
Yeah.
Because I'm a folder, right? So I'll fold so that I get a nice straight edge like that.
Yeah.
And then I'll use that edge to really dig into the piece, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my thing. But sometimes I'll get like a skewer or like a you know, like just anything and just wrap and then like try to get in.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that just having a little bit of oscillation
It
go a
helps.
long way.
Yeah.
Have you guys
You
ever
wear out
tried
the
using
edges.
like a nail file or a nail buff for sanding?
I definitely
They're
have
too
used.
harsh. They're too harsh and they leave striations.
Okay.
Like,
you can get quite fine nail files. Not metal ones, but like you can get like it's the buffing pads.
Right. I've got some of those buffing pads, the paper ones, but every time I use them wet and dry, they just fall apart.
Oh yeah.
And then I've also tried the nail files, but the files they clog up, and like then you have to scrub them clean. Like something with the wet and dry, it just like clogs them up. If it's dry, it's better, but if it's wet and dry, the files don't work very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Fair enough.
Dr. Mr. Mouse says that they love those yowies that Chipter's done up in the top here.
Yeah, they're great.
These ones, all the Dayglow ones. And Shed Quarter Creations has said small needle files sets are handy.
They are, but they're more handy when you're doing more sculptural work, and less handy when you're trying to get a really smooth.
Really smooth, yeah. They're not so good.
That's the problem. See, is like, and yes, they are. If you're trying to like do like first run toys, and you're like working in an epoxy putty or even in a Sculpey that you've cooked, so it's a bit hard, and you want to get a bit more definition out of it, then yes, using needle files are really great. Even with the miniatures that I make, like I'll tend to use needle files, but I find that most needle files, they only go to a certain size, and they're not usually small enough to do what I need them to do when I'm making, tiny guys like this big, little 25, or this is like a 38 millimeter scale miniature. Let's face it. But if I'm doing like 25 millimeter scale miniature, you need something tiny.
I mean, you can see, like, with because this is all now, like, once I hit about 800, so this is a 1000 surfacer, and then I go to an 800, then I do 1000, then I do 1200. And this is using the toothbrush, and it's just, you can see how, like, ultra freaking, like, factory smooth you can get.
Thank you for the follow,
with the
Vomit
epoxy,
Thunder.
with the epoxy sculpt.
Dr. Mr. Mouse, I sculpt the miniatures in epoxy putty usually. And if I don't sculpt an epoxy putty, I'll sometimes do them in wax, like I'm doing with these dice charms now. You probably can't see this. This is the Lollipop Tiefling dice charm that I'm making at the moment. It's kind of roughed out. We've got like the shape of the head. She's just sitting down. She's got a lollipop on her back. She's got like 2 little horns. She's holding a D20 in the 20 position because, she's going to be a dice charm. She's going to go in your dice bag and charm your dice. So that's in wax. But
sorry to interrupt. Vomit Thunder has redeemed a channel reward point thingy, where I have to show. I got rid of it, Mash. You can't use that command anymore. You got to use the channel points. Where I've got to show my shoes. So 1 second, guys. Sorry.
Is this a sex thing?
Thank you.
I don't understand your weird
Dr.
lifestyle.
Mouse. I'm glad you like it.
Which one?
I will put photos of it when it is finished. Which hopefully will not be too long because it is a pretty small piece. So I was hoping to get it done this stream. If I don't get it done during the stream, then I will probably finish it after this stream. I mean, hell, maybe I'll even start my own stream after where I just sit around and finish it because I think I would like to get it finished tonight. Then I can start on another one.
I'm hoping to start molding this by next stream.
Ian, thank you for the subscription. That is very kind. Thank you to Mash and Ian tonight for subscribing. Update, just nothing exciting on the shoe front, guys. It's just a pair of Ultra Boosts. Very comfy. I was wearing them at work.
So there's one other thing that we were talking about, which is giveaways.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
And I'm perfectly willing to do a giveaway for the first to some one or two other people of the first 5 of these little tiefling little lollipop tiefling dice charms that I make up, because I want to do some tests. So if you're interested in getting your hands on some of those tests for free, I will ship them out to you. We're going to right now, live on this show, think of some kind of question or stupid thing that you have to say. I don't know, what are they going to have to do to get their hands on these little dice charms, guys?
We do have the ability to roll a D20 on stream on Twitch.
Oh my
Maybe the person who rolls the highest is the winner.
All right, everyone in chat, roll a damn D20.
All right. Let's do this. Hang on. If you want to enter, just type in yes please into chat, and I will periodically roll a D20 for each person, separate of the channel points, and we'll see how we go. We've got yes please from Dr. Mr. Mouse. Let's start with Dr. Mr. Mouse. We've got a paunch 11. All right, so remember your numbers. So we've got an 11. Paunch has a 16.
Ooh, Paunch is
Paunch in the lead.
Vomit Thunder 6. I'm sorry. Then in front, we've got Ian in front at the moment. Mash on Pizza. Oh, I like that you're keeping track of your numbers. 12. And then Shed Quarter Creations. Did I miss anyone? 6 as well.
Oh no. So low.
If anyone else is in chat, how long do we want to keep that open for?
I'm happy to keep it open for the rest of the stream.
The rest of the stream.
How many people have we had roll so far?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people roll. So far, 16 is the highest number. We've got Paunch sitting in at number 16.
Gonna be hard to beat that 16.
That's very cool.
Race to nat 20. Look, if you want to use channel points to
I think he's got it in the bag.
Bye, dude.
See, dudes. I'm just gonna leave this here if you want to leave my camera on if you have to, but I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Okay, buddy.
All right, see you, Chitta. Thanks for hanging.
There we go, Mash.
Cool. Well then, if that's the case...
20!
20!
You got 20.
Natural 20, Dr. Mr. Mouse. How many rolls are we supposed to let people have?
Well, I mean,
Best
like...
out of 3.
Hang on. We gotta celebrate this. Gotta celebrate this 20.
Celebrate. All right. It should be so nice.
This is not going to be very interesting for all the guys who can't actually see this.
All right, fine.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
look at Twitch then.
I'm watching it.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Oh my god. It's a disco 20. Woo! High roller. Woo! Woo.
Nat 20.
Looking so solid. Well, look, guys. Seeing as I said 5, and we pretty much have, I think, like the people who've been rolling probably number about 5 people. I am totally happy to send one to all y'all humans.
Whoa!
Oh my god, such generosity. But the next test that you will have to pass is to direct message. Okay, so this is the test. If you subscribe to the Cephalopede,
there we go.
Subscribe to the Cephalopede Twitch channel, and send me a direct message with your address, your postal address. The first 5 people to do that who have rolled dice in this chat right now and are listening.
That means everyone that rolled is a winner.
Everyone who rolled is a winner. That's right. So that's
request.
The first test, is to see whether or not you rolled. The second test is to subscribe to my Cephalopede Twitch channel and DM me through the Cephalopede Twitch and send me your postal address. And I will, first 5 people who do that, I will send you out one of these lollipop tieflings. when I get them cast off. And as a bonus, I will send you a translucent Call of Cthulhu dice charm, because I still have like about 500 of them sitting around.
Can I make one request?
Yeah,
because Mash rolled a 20, and that 20, right? Can Mash pick
I'll give him a complete set.
Can Mash just pick the color that you cast it in?
Yes, but you're gonna have to choose. So I have, I believe, green, pink, metallic pink. I think I kept the metallic pink from the last toy show. I have a blue. What are the colors? Yeah, green, pink, blue, stuff like that. Look, I will talk to you. DM me, and I will absolutely.
Can I get you to comment in the thing, because I'm real, like we said, very unorganized, and I haven't set up the cephalopede. So if you comment that in the chat, and then everyone can go and follow you and whisper at Herbie.
Whisper at me, cephalopede.
There we go.
Cephalopede. There you go.
See, can I do the shout out? Does that work? Is that what you do? ! SO and then does that work?
I don't know.
I don't know how to. I don't know.
So
how to
cephalopede. I didn't know you could put links in Twitch chat.
There's like a shout out thing. So let's go. Twitch.
Maybe a hot word. Hot tag. Hot word.
TV.
Is anybody in the YouTube chat?
No.
What chat? I don't even know what you're talking about.
No, it's not actually.
Nobody's joined us on
Kind of
YouTube.
sad.
But that's all right. It'll be preserved there for another time,
right.
a later date. It's posterity.
I'll work on it.
YouTube's for posterity.
Oh,
I don't have that many subscribers yet.
I spelled Twitch wrong. Hey, just give us like a PO box or get it sent to a friend. Send it to one of your Thank you. There we go.
Nice.
Don't
Thanks,
make fun of me.
guys. Thanks, Punch Monster. That's awesome.
Don't make fun of my bad spelling. We've talked about this on stream before, guys. I don't appreciate it.
Yeah. So yeah, send me a DM, guys, and for just tell me, and if you want to like color, I'll send you just either you'll get the blanks, or if you rolled that natural 20, please draw my attention to that, and then I will give you
Mash on pizza.
Dash on pizza, and I will give you a list of the available color options that I have currently in my workshop. And this, because it's such a little guy, I will be able to cast this up at the same time that I make the mold for this one. So I've got two little horny girls right here. I've got a big horny girl and a little horny girl. I bring one right up close. Wow, she's stealing the focus. Focus stealing. I've done her face kind of like a Showa era or like Japanese bamboo princess, which is pretty fun. I don't know if you know about the little bamboo princess, which is like the bamboo princess is a story of like, it's a Tom Thumb style story where a couple of bamboo cutters who live in the forest find a little girl in a piece of bamboo, a little bamboo princess. And she gets taken in and becomes very famous. And I think it's a happy ending story. But I can't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah.
I think she goes to heaven at the end. Oh, my mind.
Yeah.
I think she goes to heaven at the end.
Yeah, she gets taken by the fairies, or maybe Kuan Yin comes down.
And she has like a bunch of suitors and stuff.
Beliefs are so fucked up like that.
Studio Ghibli did a film of it, I think, and I wasn't a huge fan, to be honest.
It's not one of their best.
I got an hour in. Me and my girlfriend were watching it together. We were like, God, is this movie almost over? It's been going forever. And it had been 1 hour. And we were just like, no. We just stopped it. We were like, no way. No, can't finish this. I'm sorry. Mouse, they are... The small one is in wax for Herbie's dice charm. And then the bigger one, the Dryad, is in Super Sculpey.
Yep, Super Sculpey. That is
Sculpey.
correct.
Which is similar to what? Similar.
Fimo.
Oh no, you know all about that. You do sculpting stuff. We talked about that one time.
Yeah, I mean not me, the other guy. Yeah. But it's Super Sculpey. It's good stuff. It's very rubbery, so it's really I find it really forgiving when it comes to like finishing. Like you can handle it quite well, and it doesn't take fingerprints. Like unlike plasticine or the wax that I'm working with. For the dice charm, they'll tend, if you're handling them, they'll tend to retain fingerprints, which is kind of can be annoying. Whereas the Sculpey, while it will still be affected by the heat of your hand, it kind of has a lot more bounce back. Also, I find if you don't cook it before you cast Super Sculpey, then you'll retain a lot of the really nice textural quality of the surfaces. Whereas if you cook it, then it will kind of granulate the molecule.
Aren't you worried about deformation?
What? What do you mean deformation?
Like being
Like
sued?
it deforming, like the piece deforming when you cast it
In silicon?
in silicon. Yeah.
No, not this.
It's rigid.
And look, that's I was.
Is this? Are you using the medium or the hard, or are you using that
Super
mix?
I'm using Super
Oh,
Sculpey.
this. Oh, right. Okay.
So
Have you tried? Have you used the grey stuff?
Yeah, the firm.
No. Well,
Yeah.
this is.
It goes bad after a while.
I mean, this is designed like I was talking about it on my stream on Sunday. Last night. Was it last night? Really? My God, it seems like a year ago.
It does seem like a year ago.
I was talking about it then, but Super Sculpey, like when you make something, I didn't make this with an armature, right? So because I just wanted to have a jam out and have some fun, like throwing a toy together, like with inspiration from people and stuff like that. And so what it meant is that when I was making it, I had to design the model specifically to be able to not have too many extremities. So the horns were added right at the end, and I just put those details on. But the rest of it, like you can see that the pose, like the knees are resting on details on the base. The neck has a lot of cowling going on, and the jawbone of the deer that kind of sits around the chin and the neck. It's got a neck brace, which stops the head from falling off when you're putting too much detail and pressure on it.
It is a good pose, yeah.
So the pose is restrictive, and it wasn't just based on drawing. It was just me going, I'm gonna have some fun. What monster girl am I gonna make today? And Fletch was like, make a dryad, and I'm like, that's cool. I'm gonna make a dryad. So I blame Fletch.
Dryads are cool, man.
Yeah, dryads are cool and underrepresented in modern culture.
Absolutely.
AJ, where are you up to?
So, how clear is the?
Not great. It's not great.
Not
But
It's all right.
Not great. So I'm kind of here. I've painted up his leaves, his eyes, and I've done a little bit of black washing to pick up some of those grooves. Here's the gold one I did last week. There's people here from last week, isn't there?
I think so, yeah.
I don't remember.
Yes, so this is all cast
AJ?
resin, polyurethane
Yeah.
resin. Epoxy or polyurethane?
Polyurethane. Oh, these ones would be, because these clear ones I did during the week, because obviously they take a whole day to dry.
So those are epoxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's clear.
Did you pressure cast those?
Yeah, these ones I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are bubble free.
Nice.
Yeah, so got some bright green ones, and I just did a purple one for laughs as well. But it
How
actually,
extreme do you find
that
the
purple
pressure
one.
pot when it comes to getting rid of bubbles? Like, will it just get rid of every single bubble in a piece?
gets rid of every single bubble in a piece. Sometimes if you've got like extreme undercuts, it still won't quite get all the bubbles out. But in terms of like clear resin, yeah, it's like crystal clear. You can't see a bubble in
Pretty
it.
good. Yeah.
With mine
I still need to build one.
just arrived last week.
You just
Where
have
did you
to
buy?
remember.
Where did you buy yours from?
A link that AJ sent me.
Off eBay.
Yes.
You just have to remember to cast your silicon under pressure as well.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that the link to
What did you guess it?
build your own?
I generally
Can't
guess it.
remember.
If you don't, because if you don't cast the silicon mold, if you don't set the silicon mold under pressure as well, then the silicon will still have little bubbles, little micro bubbles in it.
Yeah.
And then if you put the resin in and put that in the pressure pot, then those bubbles that are inside the silicon mold will collapse, and the piece you pull out will be covered in tiny little bubbles, like inverted bubbles.
Yeah, like
inverted
imp-
bubbles. So it'll be all rough on the outside.
No, I see exactly what you're saying. Thanks for that. That's saving me and all the people I was going to do these giveaways for the tears.
Hey, Herb, is that pot the paint pot that you have to modify and cut the thing off and then build it, or is it already pre-done?
No,
I
it's
don't know.
it's a cheap old pressure pot that they use for spray painting cars.
Yeah.
You just have to get a hacksaw and just hack the. You don't even technically need to. It just kind of gives you a little bit more room, and you just hack that. You hack that pipe off, and you get an end cap for one of the ends. Because obviously it's meant to work by putting pressure in one end and spraying paint out the other.
That's
so
right.
It's got an in nozzle and an out nozzle. So you got to cap off one of the nozzles so that it just.
Can you just attach?
Do you just get something from Bunnings?
Well, it depends because the one I got had like a weird imperial sized nut on it. So I ended up having to custom order this one. I mean, it wasn't expensive, but I had to wait for it to come. But I don't know. You might be lucky. The one you get might just be a normal end cap that you can just buy from Bunnings.
Yeah, right. Well, don't worry, guys. Like, I'm just gonna do the dice charms are pretty simple, so they're not gonna need an elaborate mold to sort of pop out. I think the horns are gonna be the most complicated part of them, but I'm gonna do them in such a way that they won't need to be. That won't be such an issue. So I'll be able to get them out regardless of whether or not I make my pressure pot work. Generally, I'll put them in a degasser anyway. So no big deal.
Yeah, I think degassing them does the trick. You don't need to I think casting your molds under pressure is one way of doing it, but degassing is the more of the not traditional, but more of the I guess that's the way most people do it. I think
vacuum. Yeah, you vacuum your silicon. Isn't it vacuum your silicon and pressure your resin?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
That's how I was going to do it, but I am.
Yep.
But I can vacuum the silicon and then pressure the silicon.
Yeah,
fixed it.
Do both.
Yeah, I'd do both. If you've got the vacuum chamber and the pressure pot, do both.
Well, I have the pressure pot, but I haven't done the modifications to it that you're talking about.
I mean, technically, you
can use the pot for a vacuum as well.
The vacuum should actually get rid of the bubbles.
Yeah.
The pressure pot doesn't actually remove the bubbles.
That's true. It actually just makes the bubbles really, 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 really ultra
tiny.
Small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
but
just
if you've got the means to do both, I would definitely just do both.
Yeah, I have the means to do both. Well, I will have the means to do both when I do the modifications. I just have
to... Especially with yours, Herb, because of all the detail, you know?
Yeah, and even ones that weren't I've done when I was doing my Rascal Heroes, the molds that I pulled out were fine, but then when I was casting, so I was casting them upside down, and they had the Rascal Heroes have legs that spread apart, so when they're upside down and I'm casting in through the feet, I was having a lot of bubble build up under the groin area, which was not ugly. It looked like some kind of weird toy disease.
Yeah, fine.
Toy STIs.
Yeah, and I had to do a bunch of work, but that was okay because I was only going to do 20 of those and then remaster them anyway. So I've got the masters out of the mold, and I'm going to fix them up and remold them, redo them. It's funny, I spent several years working in mold shops for film and television stuff, doing reasonably smaller scale things, but ultimately making small objects and finicky toys is still quite different to that kind of mold making. It's a very different style because the objects are just more complicated.
Less forgiving, right? Bigger objects, I guess it's more forgiving.
Yeah, bigger objects, flatter objects that are designed to be seen and worn, not objects that are designed to be small and admired.
Yeah. I guess also when it's on screen, there's certain... is there certain liberties you can take, or does it need to be super detailed? What do you find?
Well, when you're making ultimately you're not mass producing them usually, so and the things that you are mass producing are typically larger, so you can kind of you if you're making 3 or 4 rings and there's a couple of air bubbles, you can just patch those air bubbles.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. The difference is minimizing the work by making the mold so good that you can reliably pump out. It's a cross between your mold and your process. You want to make them so nice that you can consistently pump out good products, because otherwise, if you're making 30 and you have 30 mistakes, and you have to fix the 30 times.
Yeah, totally.
The mold.
Yeah.
And that's time. Like, it's the difference. It's money. It's literally money. It's like I've spent a bunch of time making the mold and sculpting the figure, and I want every cast to come out perfect because I've spent enough time on this. I want to be able to take that and sell it as it is.
Yeah, and not have to do any cleanup and just...
No,
yeah.
It's money. If I spend 15 minutes on something and I'm doing 4 things, that's an extra hour, then I'm losing, I don't know, at least minimum wage of $5 an hour, right?
Yeah, exactly. Is it worth jerry-rigging a DIY degassing rig? Question in chat from Dr. Mr. Mouse.
Yeah, if you can do it, man.
I think so. I mean, I think barns sell some pretty rudimentary vacuum degassers. It's mostly just the lid and the actual pump that you need. You can do it on like a big cast iron pot, right? As long as you've got a lid that, like, I guess the size of it's sort of relevant.
Having a
stuff,
pressure gauge is going to be
yeah.
You're the main thing that you're going to want. That said, the pressure gauge on mine broke, so I just do it by eye now. It's like the
safety first.
The biggest thing with the vacuum chambers, not the pressure pots, but the vacuum chambers, is when you buy them, they typically come with a Perspex lid.
Yeah.
So you can look and you can see it. And if you're degassing silicon, like silicon's like crazy, it expands. It's not like resin. Resin will expand to like 5 times mass.
Because you degas resin, don't you, right?
Yeah. You can. You don't have to, but you can. You definitely do with miniatures. But I'm experimenting. That's why I want to get the pressure pot done. Because I want to experiment with the smaller scale stuff to see what's turning out better. But when you're lost train of thought. Sorry.
I interrupted. Anyway,
no, it's all cool.
I broke Herbie.
Broke me. I'm broken. Yeah, but when you're degassing the resin, or when you're degassing silicon, sorry, it expands to like 20 or 30 times mass. So you need, if you're putting silicon like in a degasser, you need to have a big fucking bucket. And sometimes if you don't have a big enough bucket and you're doing like a large amount of silicon, so like I was doing multiple molds where I was casting like 50 dice charms in like a single mold, back when I was making stupid amounts of them. And when I was doing that silicon, I had to like it in a half bucket and it filled up. I only let it grow 2 or 3 times volume before I had to turn it off and let some air in the vacuum chamber. And then it shrinks down, and then you do it again, and it comes up, and you shrink it down, up and down, until eventually it bubbles, and all the bubbles go, and it sucks down into its final state, its final form. And when you're doing something as fiddly as that, like if you can't see what's happening inside of the chamber, then you're going to end up with a chamber full of silicon, essentially, because it'll just all bubble up over the sides of the container you're degassing it in. I hope that answers your question.
Big, expensive mess. Shared Quarter Creation says if you can just pick your silicon accordingly, which would help in that regards. And then we have a question in chat, which I know a few of us are going to be very excited by. Some of us maybe not so much. It's a mixed bag. So Vomit Thunder has asked, wonder what you guys think of soft vinyl. I love it. I love Japanese soft vinyl particularly.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about maybe like more like your kid robots and stuff like that in terms of soft vinyl, but I love like just monsters and stuff like that. But I really like it as a medium. I think it's a really nice feel to it, and there's something about it that is really really lovely. I really like it. I've got a few Sofubis up in the back here. It's this little shelf over here. But Liam in the middle here is actually working on some header card art for his Sofubi that will be being manufactured. So where are you at with that one, Liam?
Yeah, so I kind of started doing this I'm really bad at sketching, and I was like, oh, I'll just see what this looks like. But I'm like, I think I got to color to find out, and now there's a lot of effort in it. But this is possibly what we're looking at.
Looking great.
Got an alternate. So that's based off like a Gamera vinyl header card I saw while looking up what people have been doing, because I've only got like a small collection myself. So I was just seeing what else is around, and like having these great ones of Gamera and a couple of his enemies, where it'd be like this nice photo with like a real pale color in the background. I thought that looked pretty nice, but if going for something a bit more metally or something like that, more darker, I guess, I've got that treatment to the logo.
That's great.
So yeah, I think my camera's doing wonders for showing this off, because it's like giving like gradients to it. But that's all stuff that I can muck around with afterwards when I get this off the iPad into Photoshop to give it a proper thing. But I totally meant to bring my piece out, just like my prototype out, just in case someone wanted to see it again, but I've left it out in the living room.
Do you not have it?
I'll
Go get
be right
it.
back.
Go get it. Vomit Thunder. It can't really be done at home, but that's because it's just really difficult. The actual material itself is really temperamental. It's also hard
Poisonous.
to export the chemicals outside of places like Japan and China and things like that. So shipping them into Australia is hard because you need a chemical import license. But also there's a lot of companies that manufacture that don't want to export those to Australia. They're just not interested. They just provide to Japan. Or
also, it's a controlled substance. It's very poisonous. So some of the substances they use in Australia, you just can't get it legally because it's controlled substance.
Yeah,
Stupid
exactly.
You know what? I'm having cancerous chemicals on it.
I
them in our
love
faces.
On the question, like, I love Sofubi. I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's the ultimate in where you want to get to, I guess, like making toys. It's something that everybody should do if you're making toys. What I don't love about Sofubi is the cult of Sofubi.
That's fair.
Like I don't really enjoy that aspect of it where, you see at some of the festivals and that, 500 people lining up for one little ticket and it's Sofubi, but they're ignoring the limited edition 20-piece resin that's been, that might be a little, it's not Sofubi, but it's resin, but it's a gorgeous piece of artwork, and in some ways a lot more collectible than a piece of Sofubi. Because, once if you do a run and, you see it, and it's just business and commercial sense, you get your molds made, you do a run of 100 pieces, they sell out, so what do? You do another colorway. Same molds, same thing, different colorway. And then people go crazy over that. And it's like, well, you're doing this stuff at home, you're making a silicon mold, your silicon mold, really in essence, good quality, you're going to get 50 pieces out of it, and that's it. Unless you want to cast it again and do the mold and all that kind of stuff. So the cult of Sofubi isn't something that really impresses me. I think that, no matter what your toy is made out of, whether it's resin, whether it's Sofubi, whether it's plushies, whether it's, wood or anything like that, it's just as equally as valid. And in some ways, like, the other formats are just as collectible and even more so, That's my 2 cents on it.
I think
having said that, I am looking forward to making a piece of it.
I think I'll burn some cred, I guess, if I had any credibility in that. I think the thing that Sofubi does is that because there are restrictions generally to what can be done within Sofubi, it kind of pushes people's designs to a certain aesthetic, and you can do a lot of stuff in it. And that's kind of like, Andrew, that's why, like, last week I was kind of trying to figure out like why I didn't really like that piece you had from
the Groman, the
yeah, and it's just like so detailed. And the thing that I kind of, and I know it's a personal thing, so it's not like I'm being like, that's not Sofubi because I don't like it. I'm just like, I don't quite like it so much, is that it's so high detailed that, like, that's not what got me interested in that form. But that aside.
But you could say that about resin as well. Like, you're extremely limited unless you're really, really quite good in advanced skills and stuff. Like, there's certain things that you just can't do with resin as well, and you're limited. But there's certain things with Sofubi that you can
do with resin. Nothing.
Oh, no. I'm not saying there's nothing you can't do. I'm saying there's nothing you can't do, but you do need more advanced skills to be able to do it. Or you need to be a lot more. Or you need to be a lot more patient.
There are factories set up where people have these skills that they have been working on for years to do for you, and all you have to do is do what they tell you to do when it comes to making the products to interface with their machines. Whereas, I think with resin toys, I think actually the most freedom that you're ever going to see in a manufacturing process to be able to do what you want to do, to be able to achieve literally anything, is injection molded plastic. Industrial injection molded plastic. Go to the Games Workshop website, look up their latest model range.
God. Holy crap.
Look at the fucking ridiculous.
It's amazing. It's just, look at the new 40K stuff, and it's like
models. And what they can do, they are insane.
I'd really like to see their Nighthaunt, the molds for the Nighthaunt figures, because they've got to have a ton of
beautiful
pins and dies and cutaways and things that for those.
No. It's just the way that they make the mold is it's computer generated. It's fucking crazy. They have physics programs. I was showing you the sprues last week.
Well, I get the sprue placement, but
but the way it's cut apart, that's the thing. That they cut it apart on a computer as well, to the point where everything can be injection molded so easily.
Don't they also aren't some of the companies also using machine learning now and feeding in the specs and stuff and the machine learning basically takes all of the information and then lays it out in the CAD so that it's
exactly
mathematically efficient and precise. And that's an amazing application of machine learning, I saw some of the new 40K stuff a couple of weeks ago, and I looked at them, and I hadn't looked at 40K stuff in a couple of years because I stopped playing a few years ago, and I looked at it and I'm just like, what the absolute fuck? How the fuck? It's just so detailed and so beautiful, it's almost stuff that you don't want to paint because just to look at it, but you want to paint it.
Sorry to get it back, in terms of vinyl toys and stuff. Rachel, did you? I have a memory of you saying you kind of got in by customizing Kid Robot stuff, right? Like dunnies and things like that.
Yeah. I've got one right now that I'm working on for a friend. Yeah. But I started off with that. Just it was a thing back in the day. There was lots of exhibitions around customizing monies. I've been in lots of shows over the years for different monies and similar kind of stuff. But I like working already, so it's basis. I like it, and I collect vinyl toys. Vinyl toys are totally my jam.
Someone in chat's asked if you can show us the fluffy blue fellow, please.
Fluffy blue fellow, this guy. That's the one.
Is that the one?
That's the one. He's great.
So did you start off doing? Were you doing graffiti stuff?
Yeah, so I got into it through the graph scene. Yeah. Because I guess it was all kind of interlinked. This kind of
back in those days, there was a real strong correlation with the early, because it used to be called urban vinyl, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, urban vinyl.
And it was a lot of graffiti art and street art.
Yeah,
was mostly what you
graffiti
saw.
artists
That's how I know Rachie.
Like David Cho and Anyway, I got heaps of I've been collecting vinyl since back then, 2002 or something. So I've got all these artists' vinyl toys from back then. All these graffiti artists, especially the San Francisco kind of crew, did a lot of vinyl toys. So I collected a lot of them during that time. I'll go into my toy collection. And
Yeah,
find
do it.
some-
I've also someone wants to know what's the methodology to applying the fur with those ones. So show us
so
the
that's
toy
just-
stuff first.
Yeah, so with that toy, that's actually just a pom-pom that I got from Spotlight with like polymer clay just stuck to it, and I just dried it with a heat gun. So that was my first time experimenting with that, and it worked really well. You just got to do a really thin layer for the face, and you can work it right into the fur so it sticks, and then just like 5 minutes with the heat gun, like 5-10 minutes with the heat gun.
So did you just like hot glue the fur on first and then sculpt on the face, or like glue the fur on, or is the fur kind of loose on it?
No, the fur, it's like a pom-pom that you buy from Spotlight, which is actually that. It's
with the fur already.
Yeah, and you can get heaps of different colours. So
That's
I just had
awesome.
heaps of them. All right, so...
Yeah, show us some of these toys.
we got here.
Toys.
This is my first ever vinyl toy that I bought. So it's lost its legs now. But that's a Nathan Juravicius, who did all these comics called Scary Girl back then. And
he's an Australian artist, isn't he, Rach?
Yeah, he's an Australian artist, yeah. So he got me into vinyl toys, and yeah, so I got a couple back in the day like that, which are not very well. They should be old.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah. This is my favorite. This is a Nathan Juravicius one that would have been worth a fortune because it's pretty big, but I got it at like this little Asian shop in one of the malls just off Burke Street. And it was like $12. So I was pretty excited about that. Black market Nathan Juravicius.
So is that a bootleg?
Yeah, it's a bootleg Nathan
right.
Juravicius. Yeah.
My goal with my toy work is that one day someone will want to bootleg something.
Bootleg it. Yeah. Just around the corner from Outre Gallery where they were selling the actual ones. They were bootlegging them.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I've got these Happy Tree Friends collection from back then as well. I got all of these guys. Yeah. And where's some more? Oh yeah. This is he had a sausage coming out of it. Junko Mizuno, who's like
Love Junko Mizuno.
Yeah, that's a Junko
Babe.
Mizuno. Yeah.
I think it was like 2000 or 19, even earlier when I saw the first Hell Ladies comics.
Yeah, Hell
so
Babies. I've
amazing.
got all those comics somewhere. And Buff Monster was another. He was a graffiti artist that did a bunch of vinyl.
What's that you're showing us, AJ?
Hang on.
That's my Junko.
Well, hang on.
Mizuno.
There we go.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Oh, nice. That's so cute. I love it.
Yeah,
I bought heaps of her
2 of
comics.
20.
Nice. Oh, and you know how we're talking about that vending machine that's in Emporium?
Oh, Mocha Select.
Yeah, I got that the other day. That's my latest toy.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice.
Have you seen they've opened up a full shop downstairs?
No, have they? Really?
I haven't.
Yeah, like near where Mag Nation and Zoo York are. They've got a full store there.
Oh, that's cool.
Really, with all the Pop Mart stuff?
Yeah.
Melbourne kids.
Shall we have a conversation about
Pop Mart?
you know, those toys?
Well, first let me
which
show off my
toys?
boy if anyone's interested in still seeing my guy because I brought him out.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, there we go.
Yes.
That's so. If you weren't in the chat last week, this is a 60% size print. So this guy's about 6 inches. The full figure will be 10 inches about. So
How are you upsizing it?
oh, it's because this is just a print. AJ shrunk this down to print to the biggest you could get it on his print plate. So the original, unless things change, I'm getting the full size one printed in Spain, where it'll get cleaned up there before being sent out, because I don't trust myself to clean it up right, and also it's
That's cool.
to get it the good quality that I want. like a Form 3 print of it or whatever is just going to be too expensive here. But apparently it's a bit better over there. So Javier will be doing that for me, hopefully. But yeah, this is a close-up of his head.
It's awesome. So you'll do the print, but then when they take it to the factory to do
That's so good.
the Sofubi, will they do all the joints and stuff?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do the joints
Japan?
there.
Yeah, they do the rest.
Okay.
Like
Here's
we've
the
got
question.
little stand-in joints just so it stays together. But yeah, they'll do the proper things.
Oh, cool. So you don't have to mess around with like
No.
doing the flanges and all that kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah, and that's like
Oh,
one of
that's
the
awesome.
things. One of the fixes the factory has requested is that they need the What are these boys?
What I was gonna ask.
The shoulder. The
Shoulders.
shoulder needs to be a bit bigger.
A bit bigger, yeah.
Yeah, so that
The
we
joint.
can fit the joint in it.
Right. Yeah, because there's size. You need to have size like.
Yeah, so that's what I was
sizes and
talking
stuff.
about before. Like there are restrictions and requirements of it that create a lot of the form factor.
But to be
Um,
to be honest, Liam, another factory probably would have just done that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you'd sent them the full sized one straight off
Mm-hmm.
and said, "I want to make this into a Sofubi," instead of giving us the feedback the way they did, they probably would have just put
Just
some
did it.
clay on there. They would have just jammed
Yeah.
some clay on there to make it bigger, and they would have just jammed some clay in his mouth where it was too deep.
Yeah. That's true, but I'm kind of glad because I was able to make
I'm glad. Yeah.
So like there's just like when I'm painting, it's gonna come out really bad because I half painted it and then gave up. But like where his fur up here meets his shoulder, it kind of like just does this like clean line sort of thing in and it was kind of weird. So I've been able to, because we're doing the revisions, I've been able to go back and ask for like some detail in. So like getting this guy in my hands to paint up myself is like really change, it's created a couple of fixes that I need because like I ain't
That's
that
one of the
great.
things I love so much about 3D printing, is that you can do that sort of rapid prototyping.
Yeah, and then just stick it
You
back
can
in.
pull
and do the
something out,
same
and if there's
thing.
something that's not quite right about it, just fix it.
Yeah, and that's been the problem with my 3D printers. Is I've been using not the best resin previously. Like I've been using the water-based stuff. That's always given me like kind of. I've got an Elegoo Mars 1, but I've been using the Elegoo water-based resin. And I don't know whether I've not dialed it in right or whatnot, but I always get kind of wonky results. So like you'll print something out and be like, oh, that needs to be off by a millimeter, like one way, and then you print it again and then it's off by like a millimeter another way because it's just like I don't know whether I'm doing it wrong or it's the resin. It's just wasn't quite giving me the results. But if I can ever get back into the studio, I've got the proper got correct resin, the regular resin that is just sitting there waiting for me to be able to legally get back in there and use.
Couple of
AJ, you have the same printer as me, don't you? You have the Photon.
No, I upgraded it
Oh, did
last
you?
year. Yeah, so I got the mono now, so it's got a much bigger build plate and it's got auto leveling and there's a few
Yeah,
other.
because I was wondering how you did that size. Like, did you do it in sections and stuff?
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
I did it all in. Yeah, I did it all in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does. It's got
Yeah,
it's got a
but
bigger
still
build
bigger.
plate, which is nice. Yeah.
And plus, like the mono screens are going to do you a lot better.
How long? I've got a question in chat. How long do the resin prints take to print?
Depends on your printer. I know one of the other thing that's really good about my upgraded model is that it's about twice as quick as the old ones. So something like Liam's print
Versus PLA/ABS 3D printer.
something like Liam's print. Show us your
These are
size
resin
again.
printers.
Yeah, they're resin
These are
printers.
this SLA.
Show us your guy again, Liam.
Yep.
So that's the head is one part, and the arms are two separate parts,
Put those out there. And then
and the tail's a separate part. But then that big chunky body is all one thing, including the legs.
here's a Bundaberg ginger beer to scale. Like we won't drop everything.
So
For all the Aussies in the chat.
so that body took about 4 hours. to print.
Just the torso.
Just the torso.
Can you show us the torso again, Liam?
Yeah, I'll just do the torso. What layer height did you do for this?
0.05. That's the smallest you can go.
See, my Elegoo Mars, like, I'll print something like the size of his leg, and it'll take me like 9 hours.
Yeah, 9 hours. That's right. Yeah, so did my old one. Yeah. So it's like half, less than half. Yeah.
That was 4 hours.
Yeah, I just leave it overnight.
Yeah. Like when I was making
But you always risk something going wrong in the middle of the night and then waking up to a big mess or
waking up in the morning and you look at the build plate and there's nothing on it is like the worst.
Sad.
Although some days you wake up in the morning and you're like, man, I don't want to deal with this, and you're like, oh good, it failed. I can go back to sleep. Yeah. That's my boy. So, wow, I was supposed to be off like 10 minutes ago. So I probably shouldn't start a conversation about Moko Select and all the blind boxes that are like taking over.
Always next week, Liam.
Yeah, chuck it on the list of things.
Yeah.
You know, do it. Get it happening. I'm just updating a couple of like back-endy Twitch things so that I can do my commands to get links to people's Instagrams and all that sort of stuff.
Okay, yeah. Cool, and if you want to see more of the process of Grave King, which I'm not very well updating, but, you know, posting some stuff. I'm,
Post it in the Discord. Work in progress pictures in the Discord, please.
Okay.
Don't sound too excited about it.
Discord. Liam.
I'm a bully.
Do it.
I am of that level of antisocial that I don't even want to engage online for fear that someone will talk to me.
Says the man in a big streamed show on the internet with a bunch of his mates.
I'm trying.
Don't remind him.
There's certain things I can get over my problems with talking to people, and that's talking shit. I can do that for days. I'm planning on starting up a podcast where we pitch movies to each other based off usernames we've seen.
Oh yeah. Give me an example. So we've got Dr. Mr. Mouse in the chat here.
Whoa! I can already. That's a good movie. I would do that movie.
Dr. Mr. Mouse. That already sounds like an awesome movie.
Oh, like the names we're pitching, like we've already got a couple ones from playing Rocket League, and they're like they just breed breed ideas. The best one we've come across is someone called Wolf Train.
Wolf Train.
Yeah.
Damn.
There's like 30 great films I could have the title. Also, the other one
Wolf
is
Train's
Diesel
pretty
Fury.
good. Like,
I think Dr. Mr. Mouse might be the only person who can stop the Wolf Train.
Yes.
And this is from just nothing against your username, cuz. But like with the name Dr. Mr. Mouse, is that I think that name sets up a film to be of a particular type of film. That's all.
About a doctor that's a Mr.
It's a
Mouse?
So my mind just automatically jumps to the worst possible interpretation. What about Mash on Pizza? That's a good one. We've talked about
Mash on Pizza.
That sounds like a college frat movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so you just have to set up...
about Wolf Train. I mean, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
What's this about Wolf Train? Is this in the chat?
Wolf Train, dating a furry and
Wolf Train, very
yeah.
Alright. Well, we came up with pitches for Wolf Train where it was a temporal, nightmare thing with, Okay, so you've seen, like Donnie Darko, how he gets, that, the line that comes out of his chest that leads him to where he's gonna go. So we're thinking something like that, but the idea that it's like a wolf, and you just see this weird after image of this wolf just shooting around eating people. That's one of our pitches. We got a couple, so yeah, we'll try that out. Maybe that'll get me.
Have you seen the demo for Void Train? No. Void Train. Is Void Train a game? Oh, that sounds familiar. Maybe it was in my Xbox Game Pass thing or whatever it is that Microsoft Game Pass. Oh, AJ, that purple one.
This one?
Purple one. Yeah, I'll buy that off you.
You want this?
I'll buy that off you, baby.
He's not too bad.
He's
I'm
a
actually
fancy
kind of
photo.
digging how the opaque painted ones have come out. I still need to do some like dry brush highlights, but I'm kind
There's
of digging how these.
There's something really nice about painting, like dry brushing over like a transparent resin piece, or like slightly transparent. It just gives it this nice vibe to it because it's like, I don't know. I want to do one where, resin would look good for alien eggs. The dragon head that I did, I want to do a cast of that, in like a transparent red, like a clear kind of red.
Yeah, for sure.
And then dry brush over the top, so it kind of, and then maybe like Dremel out a bit and put a little light in it, so it looks like it's like glowing lava from the inside.
Yeah, we've got to get some of those pulled in translucent.
Yes,
Ruby, I reckon.
Yes, I was thinking this was just as a resin one, but I'm super hyped on that. Do you know what happened to Group A? I mean, we can talk about that off stream.
Yeah, we should probably talk about it off stream.
Yeah, right.
What is Group A? I don't even know what Group A is.
So, me and AJ are doing a thing with, you know, the artist Brody Shogun, who does Sofubi stuff, lives in Japan. It's kind of like an outsider art sort of vibe to it. It's all like his sculpture always like quite. They always have like this sort of like very hand sculpted kind of feel to it. Like a lot of it has like. There's one, I've got one where you can see like his thumbprint in the eye, and I really like it. It's got this really nice kind of quality to it.
This sounds totally up your alley.
It's so up my alley.
Yeah, they're really cool. They all look, it's like total art crew. They all look like mental patients.
Yeah.
What was it called again?
Brody Shogun. He kind of co-runs
you
Lulu
watched us on the
Toys.
stream, Flesh.
Yeah, that one you were watching on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, that's him. Okay, all right.
Right.
Well, I kind of came into that stream halfway through and was really confused for a
Yeah, I
while.
know you were.
It's because it was like,
what is going on?
kind of a business meeting in a way.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was in, but it sounded so cool, and I was just like, "This is cool." I don't know what you're talking about, but it's really cool. I'm gonna stay here.
So he's been running a thing
He's
called the
awesome.
Brody Head thing, where he had like an open kind of pre-order where you could pay to, I mean, like it was like an open production run basically. Toy Bodega is such a banger name. Where it was like an open pre-order production run, and it was just, the idea was to just do heads that would fit on some of like the bodies and stuff that he's made.
Awesome.
But like also kind of, you know, just sort of, it's just like a nice accessible way of getting something kind of produced in Sofubi at what was a very good price. And I suspect the price is going to go up for the next wave.
So Spew and I missed out on something like that. It sounds
The way
awesome.
you kept the price down is by grouping the heads onto the Sofubi mold. Right? So normally one mold would be in the order of, $1,200 to $2,000. But if you get 4 or 5 people on one mold doing a head each, and get them to organize themselves into a group and organize someone who will receive shipping and then distribute the heads out, you can get that cost down to like $300 per person.
Amazing. And I said to AJ, like, we should have a couple of guests on here, and we should get him because he seemed like a really savvy, really cool guy. He'd be fun to come and do a guest spot.
Yeah, he's definitely up for it. I'll ask him.
I'm intimidated by that.
Why?
You're telling my thing shit.
Not at all.
I said it.
No. It won't be. It'll go like. He'll be like, yeah, that's cool.
No, he doesn't seem like that kind of guy whatsoever.
Or just a yeah, okay. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
This,
cool.
After missing out, this is week 2. So every Monday we will be hanging out, talking toys, talking art, making toys. I was going to be doing some resin casting tonight, but I ran out of time to get prepped and ready for it. But yeah, it's going to be a weekly thing because it's just it's kind of
easily
fun.
excuse to motivate us to sit down and work on
our toys.
Exactly. So that's kind of the plan. Is we had a few other people in earlier tonight. So Chipter, who isn't here anymore, but his camera is still up. Where are we? Here with the Yowies, the day glow Yowies. And I had Ken in also as well, not to be confused with Kenny from my work, who is made the music for this ad.
Is Mr. Nick in the YouTube today? Because he
Mr.
was
Nick
here last week.
he's in the Twitch.
Oh, he's in the Twitch. Hello, Mr. Nick.
Hey, Mr. Nick.
Mr. Nick, he came to our show in Sydney and our show in Melbourne. Do people remember?
Yeah,
Nick?
we like Mr. Nick. He's a favorite.
We should have him on because I was hassling him.
Yeah,
about
we
it,
should.
but he was saying he
says
hasn't actually finished the piece yet, and I was like, well, you better get onto it, man. You better.
Let's get him in.
I might see if I
on
can hassle
and show it off, but-
Minty Moss to get on their phone and join us. Minty Moss is like
Yeah, Minty
forever
would be great.
losing connectivity. So we're pretty lucky.
I think we have if we want to get guests in, we know so many cool people, and it'd be so cool to have them.
My sister, who's not exclusively a toy artist, is an amazing sculptor. You want to look up Isabel Peppard on Instagram, like
Next level amazing sculptor.
phenomenal work. She'd have a lot to say about things, I'm sure.
Can you comment that one in the chat?
Isabel Peppard. Yeah. Doing it now.
I can't spell Isabel.
I guess we should work out a schedule of some
And
kind, guys.
she's still in Melbourne, if you heard it.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to get real messy when Daylight Savings kicks back in, isn't it?
Maybe. It's still going to be Australian Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, we'll still be here. It's Monday night.
Yeah, Monday nights. That's the plan.
Monday night's my chill night,
Is very
and
nice.
I'm usually
Have some kind
Monday
of
nights
stuff,
is actually my toy night anyway. So I'm usually in Chewy on Monday night, so it just kind of works out really well.
Yeah, Monday night's pretty much perfect for me too. Can I show you this little prototype guide that I've had going?
Is that Mac and me?
Back at me.
Has that been updated since you got feedback?
Yes. Yeah. So there's been some subtle changes. I had to chonk up some areas of the
Oh, it's got a body and arms. Can you wiggle the arms for us?
body. Well, they're actually just blue patch on, but
Ah, still, you can wiggle them. Wiggle.
you can see that they can move.
Wiggle.
All right.
Yeah,
Watch them wiggle. It's very cool.
I think I've done enough.
I'm a huge fan of action
Now I've
features.
got to watch it.
Is this the right Isabel Peppard? Is it not Isabel? Is it Isabel Peppard 77?
Isabel double P-A-R-D. Very cool. Instagram. Pretty sure she is just Isabel Peppard. You just look. Yeah, 77. That's the one.
77. Sweet. Follow.
Alright, well, I better head off.
Yeah, I think I'm finished for the evening.
Cowards.
Until-
Well, look,
Yeah,
this is
so
my
anyways,
lollipop.
I just
People
wanted to-
achievements for the evening.
Yeah, 11 o'clock. That's the when we knock off
Yeah.
usually.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to show you guys something, right?
Yeah, go.
So I have this technique of using this Mr. Surfacer, right, to get in gaps, but I don't know if you can see on here. See how it's like white and then it's banded and then it's white and banded. So that's all the filler filling it in, so that when you actually come back and sand it off, all the gaps just go smooth.
Yeah, so you
So
go.
what are you filling it with? Are you spraying it or are you?
It's a Japanese thing called Mr. Surfacer, and what it does, well, it's not really a primer. It doesn't prime. So what it actually does is when it sprays on, it finds all of the divots. And honestly, Herb, if you are doing your miniatures, like, this is something that you should use.
Yeah,
because it'll
can you link that in the Discord?
Yeah,
In
absolutely.
the
So
support
it's
section of the Discord, the hints and trips.
yeah,
So
be
be
I
specific,
do-
there's like 30 Mr. Surfaces.
yeah. Yeah, I will be very specific. I have a very specific process that I do to get things smooth. I'm making a video about it now, but I'll dump all the instructions on how to do it. But this is how I get rid of all of my imperfections and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And it just works out really, 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 really well.
I'm very excited.
Anyways, so I've done the next layer on this, and I'll probably only do 2 more sanding layers, and that'll be good enough.
If
Really?
you can't
That's my
get Mr.
stuff for me.
Surfacer, Mr. Surfacer is the best stuff for sure. But if you can't get it, then you can get this stuff from auto store. Any auto store. Primer filler.
What is it?
Primer filler. It's the same stuff.
Primer filler.
Yeah, it's the same stuff as Mr. Surfacer. It's just cheap and a little bit nastier. So you need to do a little bit more work on it.
Pop it
And
in the
this stuff-
Discord.
This stuff is toxic as fuck.
Yeah.
So you absolutely wear a mask when you're using this. That's the other good thing about Mr. Surfacer is that it's not so toxic as this, but this will knock out pets that are in like vicinity. Yeah. But if you can't find them Mr. Surfacer, because I don't know about you guys, but I've been having a hell of a time getting stuff.
Metro Hobbies.
Yeah, even they seem to be out of stock a lot.
Oh, the Surfacer 500, which is I use the Mr. Surfacer 500 religiously. Like that's what I most use. But I also have I have it in the airbrush format.
Oh yeah.
As well. So you use this, get this, and you water it down with the Mr.
Mr. Thinner.
Yeah. No, not thinner. Leveling thinner.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right. So these two things in combination. The thing is, with the 500, it's like such a high grit that you do have to be religious about cleaning your airbrush. You can get. So I usually use the cans. They're more expensive. They don't give as good a finish, but they're quick.
Yeah.
Right. But if I'm going to do something really good and I want to invest in making something fucking awesome, I will use this stuff because it's just way better. And the 500, man, the 500 finds all of the gaps. It finds like everything. And
it is the best stuff.
Yeah.
If you're going to do anything 3D printed like this, you basically have to use that stuff. It's impossible.
Absolutely.
It's impossible to get a good finish on these without using primer filler.
It gets rid of the striations, and the surfacer, the Mr. Hobby stuff. Like, if you're doing a resin print and you use the Mr. Hobby surfacer, man, it just smooths out so perfectly and so nice on resin prints. That's what I did with the cats. Like, I don't even have one. Oh, maybe I do. Like, this was just the resin print, and with the Mr. Hobby surfacer, maybe 2 or 3 layers, and then sanding, and it's just. Just smooth.
Using that MacGyver Dremel?
Sorry?
Using the MacGyver tool?
Using the MacGyver tool, yep.
So sander filler and toothbrushes.
Yep.
Wow. The future is now.
I got some shit done tonight.
Yeah, let's everyone, before we go,
it's really fun.
Maybe let's just like touch base. Let's see what's everyone's kind of gotten finished tonight. So let's start with Fletch. What did you show us what you did?
So I did another layer on this. And I'm almost at the point where I'm happy with how soft it is. I don't want to use too much filler because if you use too much filler, you start losing the detail. So I'll probably come back. I'll probably come back and just like scratch out some of these, some of the filler in some of the grooves, and then I'll do one more layer, and then I'm just going to sand it down like to maybe 2000 or so. And I finished doing all the fill and everything on the mushroomy. And I think that this is pretty much ready just to prime and do... I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Paint it? Maybe I'll ask Mumbo if I can make a couple, like 5 or 10 casts of it and send her a bunch of them. I could cast that. It's going to be hard, but I could cast it.
Those spikes coming down are going to be annoying.
3-piece mold.
I
could do it.
You could disassemble it as well, and then cast those parts separately and then glue them together.
I could actually. Yeah. So I'm not sure. If not, then I'll just paint it and it'll look awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my accomplishment tonight.
Oh, hang on. Wait. Why? What's this? Wait 1 second. Before you might have to do that again. What's happening, Ian? What's happening?
Oh, we were just showing like.
Oh, hang on. Ian's got. Fuck you, man. I might get you to show that off again in a minute. I think Ian's trying to... here we go. Oh my god, Demi, no!
It's a raid!
No,
it's
Mark,
a raid!
It's a raid! Oh my god, there's so many people! Yay!
I don't... What's happening?
So Mark, oh my god, Demi has raided with 132 people. Yeah, and Mark
welcome
is rated
everybody.
with 172
This is not a toy scene insanity. I don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
Were we about to like go
Lena,
offline and now all of a
We
sudden?
were just finishing up. We'll show over. Oh my god! I'm
Liam,
glad
a
that
really good one for your podcast. Poop train conductor.
Yeah, nice. Someone's got to conduct this damn train.
What's
Rick.
happening? Hello, Lena. Oh my god!
Yeah, Raid, I love you.
Oh wow.
Raid on me,
jeez,
raid on me,
Um,
raid
train
on
conductor.
me. Lost
Oh
lonely.
my god, no!
Dun, 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 dun. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
I do have a Baltimore Orioles hat.
We are
Oh
about
my
to launch into our fucking show and tell section. So you all came at
thank
the
you
right
for this.
time.
Take it away, Andrew.
Put it away, put it away.
Fletch, can I get you? Who won in Jeopardy?
Well,
Sure.
you missed out on the free giveaway. That's
They
the-
all did miss out on the free giveaway. This
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Come
This-
next
Next
week.
week to
Come
win.
next week for the free toy giveaway.
Yeah, we'll be doing another one next week. Hi, my name's Andrew. We've been making toys all tonight. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. What have you done, Ian?
Ray.
Has it calmed down slightly? No, it's still going. There are so many people. There's no way I'm going to be able to say thank you to everyone. Thank you, Demi. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Lena. Thank you, Ian. Thank you to everyone that's followed. My name's Andrew. There's a bunch of us. We make toys. We've been hanging out tonight, talking toys, playing toys. Oh my god. There are currently 400 and how many people watching? A lot of people. I don't know how many people are watching right now.
Yeah, they are.
Too many people.
Cheers.
Okay, so Fletch, let's get you again showing off what you've gotten done for tonight.
So for new people, my name's Factor. I work with Irakanji Toys. I have a YouTube channel. But anyways, tonight I've been working on this piece, which is my Robo Kampung Ayam, which is like a robotic Indonesian village chicken that I've been working on. I've just been kind of smoothing this out and getting a couple of the details right, and working on that, going through a process of buffing and then pulling it back and then smoothing it out, sanding, lots of sanding. We're going to make sanding great again. And the second one is I've been working on a custom. My friend Mumbot does these like little Shumi Mashumi characters, and they are awesome. You should also follow her, Mumbot, on Instagram. But I've been customizing one of her pieces into one of my pieces. And I do not know what this is, but I love it absolutely. And I've been finishing off doing some surfacing on one of my dragons, and this one's almost complete. So I'm just going to put that to the side, and that's what I've been working on tonight.
Yay!
We had Chipta, who has left his camera on for us very politely, was making some yowies, so a bunch of Dayglow yowies here.
Space yowies!
Space yowies. I don't have a Go XLR. I can't do fun, sound effects and things like that at the moment. A lot of the toys are made out of, so these ones are made out of resin. So these ones were kind of made out like a cast of some old Star Wars toys. That were then kind of, got to go eat. Bye, Demi. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Demi. Thank you, Ian. So these ones were painted and sort of just kind of like bootleg toys made by Chipta. Bye, Mark. So that's what Chipta was doing tonight. AJ has been doing a whole bunch of resin casts and some painting of a sculpt that he did. So pop up AJ's Instagram there. So AJ, tell us a bit about what you've been making tonight.
So these guys, I made these guys last week on the stream, and these were blank when we started tonight. They're not quite finished yet, although I don't think I'm going to do a very hectic paint job on these because I'm not going to sell them for very much. Everything you see here, that's probably all the ones that I'm going to make. So
what's its name?
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
Yeah. So this guy's kind of like a little, he's like an 80s movie monster, but he's a bud. You know, so think like,
all the guys.
you know, bullies or
Okay.
something like that. So
So good.
he's kind of a little
Give me
bit,
one, AJ.
he's kind of a little bit evil looking. Got lots of different colors here. When I sell these, I'll probably just do them blind bags because honestly, I can't be fucked putting all the colors up on my website. So I'll just say, just buy them and you'll get what you're given.
Except for
Yeah.
the purple one.
Except for the purple one's already been sold. And this little guy in the back here is the baby goblin that I'm working on as well, which you'll get sent off to Japan at some point, hopefully.
Made into
Yay.
Sofubi.
And that is where I
Sofubi.
am. That is where I'm at. Who wants the golden bud?
Me.
Sold to the lady with the blonde
I want
hair.
it. I will definitely take the golden bud.
Golden butts. Golden
All right,
butts.
so follow,
Yep.
follow Kyoko. I update pretty regularly if you want to see how these progress on Instagram. And
Yeah.
Hype Man will put up my Instagram.
Hype Man
right?
has placed it, and we'll be streaming every Monday night, by the way, guys. So you're welcome to come along and check it out on a regular basis. So there's like 190 people at the moment, which is pretty bonkers.
Hey.
Where are we? Let's get this happening. Liam is next in line on my...
Right. Okay. So I've been working on the header card that will be attached as packaging to my figure Grave King that hopefully is going to will be coming out in Japanese soft vinyl. Don't know when, but hopefully soon. This is his head because his body's over here. Arrgh. His arms aren't on at the moment. But that guy. So I've been working on the artwork for his packaging. This is kind of where I'm at the moment. Something like that.
Hanging
Maybe.
out, talking toys.
So good. So that's the header card for that one.
Liam
Yeah,
is
and
an
I'm kind of
actual-
going with
so
like
much
a
about
Liam is an actual artist.
like a silhouette sort of thing happening there of like Grave King amongst all the graves. Although scale might not be quite right there, but that's all right. But other than that, I fixed up some stuff earlier to turn a bunch of these blank comic book backing cards into these.
Toys.
Bunch of backing cards
G.I.
for some like G.I. Joes that
Savior
I'll be putting
of
out
the universe.
Because bootlegging is half the
GGNW.
battle.
Bootlegging is half the
Oh,
battle.
we've got we've replaced the Hasbro logo with a little, I don't know if that's coming out right, but a little bootleg. I thought that was pretty clever.
Very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing this week. I'm going to be getting 40 printouts from Officeworks and applying them onto these blank
You apply those
cards thickness to make a bunch of these, and hopefully we'll have those up for sale somewhere soon. So if you want some bootleg G.I. Joes, got some
I
coming
mean,
soon.
who doesn't want bootleg G.I. Joes, really?
Hopefully
Yet
not.
some of us
Wait,
do
everyone-
play Warhammer 40k. Poop Train Conductor. That's a great name. I'll also try and go through and say thanks to everyone who's followed in a minute, but we'll just try
Listen to the 40k audiobooks. but
Yeah.
don't play.
and then Rachel, what have
Rachel.
you been doing tonight?
I've just been working on a whole bunch of little sausages.
For the sausage party.
Yes, I've been holding a little sausage party here today. Yeah, I just did the little tails for my Kitsune character. So I've just been... I can't see it because I can't see myself. But yeah, so just making these little guys pretty uninteresting until hopefully next week I will have worked out the magnetic contraption for the Kitsune.
Yeah, that's
And
so
I'll
good.
be able to attach all the tails. So,
Multi-tail,
That will be exciting.
multi-tail.
but I'm actually regretting my decisions because that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I've got one set, and I think I've made 4 of these guys, and they're supposed to have 9 tails each. It's a bit much. I don't know.
Yeah, so the idea is that like you can buy them separately. Is that the plan?
Yeah,
like,
the
or you'll
tails
be
are
able to
collectible.
collect them
Yeah, I
separately?
don't know. Like maybe it comes with, because the idea of the Kitsune is as you grow wiser, you gain more tails.
More tails.
So I've got to work out still how the concept works for that, because, you know, I like that idea of like having to gain your wisdom before you can earn more tails.
Rachel, you could have other artists customize a tail.
Yeah.
Like have like
That's what I
different
was thinking
artists do
too.
different tails,
That's
right?
such a cool idea.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be like that thing in like primary school where you, after you read a couple of books, you could like mark off that you read 5 books. And if you read like 10 books, then you got a little wise and you can get a second tail.
That's cool.
So like we'll have
Turn
some
into a
books
book
there.
club.
Once you've read 2 books, you get
Would
2
be
tails.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like a sticker
Project.
program.
Pamphlets don't count.
Little rewards program for good behavior at the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this idea of getting other artists to do tails. I like the idea of doing different shaped tails and different stuff sort of coming off the back. It doesn't necessarily have to be fox tails either. But I'm hoping that they'll all splay out like a beautiful kind of rainbow sunshine.
So cool.
The place on High Street that sells magnets, by the way.
No, I've got the magnets right here. They've actually picked everything in their path. They've got some screws attached to them and all of that.
Nice.
But yeah, you told me about that magnet place. I got them ages ago.
Nice one.
So yeah, it's just a matter of if they all fit, because me not being a planner, no prototype.
Yep. Jump straight in.
Yeah, I haven't trialed this in any way, shape, or form. So we'll see. I've just made 9
Succeed or fail.
So, find out next week.
The next thrilling
This
adventure.
is not a toy scene.
Follow the adventures.
Our weekly exploits.
And then last but not least, in terms of productivity, Herbie.
Yay! I am Herbie, aka Herbert Peppard, aka Cephalopede. You can find me as Cephalopede on Facebook, or Cephalopede on Instagram, or Cephalopede on Twitch if you want to see me another time. I've been showing off this little sculpt of a dryad that I did last week, if it's nice enough to find focus for me on this very show. I did half of this sculpt last week on this show, and then I did the other half of this sculpt this week on this show. Well, actually on my own show yesterday night. And now it's done and ready to mold. And then today, because I wanted to get that one finished so I could do another little horny boy, but much smaller, so a big horny boy. And then, I think it's focus. Focus? I don't think it likes to focus. Whatever. You can see pictures on my Instagram, and I did a tiny horny boy. I can get some better light on the tiny horny boy, which is getting close to finished. I probably got like another hour left in this sculpt. There you go. And this is a lollipop tiefling dice charm. So I make dice charms sometimes, and dice charms are little critters that sit around inside of your dice bags, holding your number of preference as a prominence. And
you just rolled a 20 on your dice charm.
Little critters for all the critters out there.
Yeah.
Nat 20
and
on
this
the
is the latest
goddamn
one I'm doing.
dice charm.
This is a lollipop tiefling, but I have like older ones, like little Cthulhu's, like this guy. He's got 2 10-sided dice. I don't know if anyone plays Cthulhu. I don't know if any of you nerds play Call of Cthulhu, but you know, and the original OG.
I gotta interrupt you for a second.
Interrupt the hell out of me.
Oh, wait.
Go on. I'm waiting.
Nat 20. Doing the
Nat
Nat 20 dance. Twice in a night.
I still have a bunch.
Oh, you got a nat 20.
I know,
Shit.
so good. Oh, Punch Monster, living the dream. We were doing a giveaway earlier in the stream for some of these dice charms, some of the first runs of the Lollipop Tiefling to come out of the mold later this week. You guys all missed out on that, but we're going to be doing more giveaways next week and every week. We're here every Monday. Come back, join us again.
Every
and
week.
Join Cephalopede on my very own stream.
Do you spell Herbie with a Y? I-E.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, I'll
Herbert.
fix that,
There
because
is
I've
with
got
a
it with
Y.
a Y at the moment. But I'll get it fixed.
Woo!
Oh,
We've got a Discord as well, if you want to join that. We'll be posting toy stuff. There'll be lots of toy things happening in that.
Yeah, photos.
I have been extremely unproductive tonight. I think the best thing I did was put in a load of washing because I just didn't have time to get my art space set up and everything. But, you
coordinated.
I've been pushing.
You coordinated
I've been doing,
amazing.
Pushing buttons, making people appear.
Yeah.
Having a great time, making this happen.
Producer.
Very good work. We've all appreciated your good work.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll play the
One quick thing.
Yes.
Thanks Vomit Thunder for the follow. Your work is rad, and I should send you some blanks when I have blanks.
Post. I think we've got a channel in the Discord which is just like post your art and do all that stuff.
Yeah. And for anyone who doesn't know, a blank is an unpainted toy straight out of the mold that collectors and hobbyists will buy to paint and modify themselves. We love
and by send I mean like collaborate, not just give you things and expect you to paint them for me. I should probably be clear.
We're also going to do a giveaway next week as well. We did a giveaway, but I think a few of you missed it.
Yeah, about 112.
I just wanted to say, so for those that just joined, this is not a toy scene. So we're a bunch of friends. Traditionally in Australia, there was never a toy scene. Okay, like there were a whole bunch of separate artists working in their own studios. Nobody talked to each other. Nobody knew each other. It just didn't happen. So about 2 years ago, a friend of ours, Chipta, came down and we all started meeting each other for the first time. We were all working and doing our own separate thing. And we've done a bunch of exhibitions together and stuff. We do what's called toy jams together. And then COVID hit and we haven't really been able to catch up. So this is our toy jam. Right,
yeah,
and this is like
every Monday.
This is like and I have to say, like, this is one of my favorite nights of the week already, and we're only in the second stream that we're doing this because I get to hang out with these guys, and it's inspirational and it's amazing. And if you're into making toys and stuff, I would highly suggest find other toy makers in your area and in your community, hook up with them, and just have a regular get together. And just fucking make toys. Like, it's just so awesome. And hey, thank you, all you guys as well. Like, I love this shit. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all I want to say. I am at the bottom of a bottle of soju, so,
Woo, soju.
Feeling a little sentimental. Hey, I was pretty hungover at work last Tuesday, just to be real with
you. Me too.
I've pretty much gone through a whole pot of tea, damn it.
Tea, I'm making a cup of tea once we're finished. Should we wrap it up? Should we finish it up here?
Yeah,
I might finish it off with a full version of that D20 song and just try and shout out as many of these people that are still following. Thank you.
Thank you. As I can. Join the Discord. Like, we've been seeing a few people jumping on the Discord.
Yeah, get in there.
Be active, so,
More people. Jeez Louise. Thank you again to Mark and Demi for raiding. And thank you for Ian for watching. I think he may have had something to do with that. Thanks so much for popping in. I think I'll do one of those. I don't know if these guys want to listen to me.
I might pop out and go live.
Yeah, here we go. Hang on.
You can raid me.
We'll raid Herbie.
You guys
and then
want to counter raid? Join me. I could be going for another hour and a half, maybe finishing my little lollipop tiefling. Ask me questions.
Double raid. Double raid.
Yeah, all right.
And hopefully we'll see a bunch of you guys next Monday night as well.
Yep.
Please come and hang out, ask us questions, just chat with us.
Yeah, always happy to answer questions. Doesn't matter what it's about or what it's, anything. The Discord also, anything. Oh my God, guys.
We have some pretty random conversations too.
But yeah, it should be a fun time. So if you're free next week, kind of join along. If you can't watch it while we're live, check out the VOD. Thanks so much everyone for coming along, and I guess we'll catch you all next week. Goodbye, toy babies. I'm gonna finish this up with this song, and because we rolled goddamn nat 20, we're gonna celebrate.
Woo!
Thanks for coming along, everyone, and catch everybody next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.